Up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. What keeps you up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. Yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. You got me like, oh yeah. I think that we've all had enough. They know that we're calling it wrong. Hey, it's too late to try to go contain it. A generation fueled by creation. We live lives on a small screen nation. We control the airwaves, no negotiation. I refuse to think we need saving. Something good will come from creation. And when we think that the world is too anxious, we'll adapt, evolve, survive, and save it. What keeps you up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. What keeps you up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. Yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. You got me like, oh yeah. I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. Hey.
Oh, look at me. I'm retarded. I'm a globe.
I'm scared, Dad.
Do you trust me, son?
Yes.
Come on, son. Rule number 1, never trust anybody.
All right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Sovereign Soul Unchained Mind, coming to you 250 miles above your imagination in the international fake station. Rolling along here in this IT mess that we call home. I'm here with my good friend and co-pilot Something Wong, who is making sure that everything flies along straight and level. That's right, level. How is everybody tonight? Good to see you. Are we being snowed? Oh my God, look at all these people that are here already. We got the true few is here with us. Jehovah's lovely daughter, Barbara. Barry Ross is here. Saddlebum, thank you so much for your donation. I just realized that I hadn't mentioned that. A couple other people, Deborah Clark. I don't know if she's here or not tonight, but we'll see. Saddlebum, let's see. Mojo Shop. Glad to see that you were able to finally, get a hold of Ryan and talk to him. He's got kind of a crazy schedule, so hope everything worked out for you with that. Stacy Jones is here with us tonight. Riley Studios, Barry Ross, Mojo Shop again. What is he everywhere all at the same time? Let's see. Yeah. Good. You talked to Ryan. I hope everything goes. My prediction is that the cop's not even going to show. They figure they got an out of state thing going on here, and you're not going to show up, right? So that's usually what they do with that. But we'll see. Whatever you guys worked out, that sounds good. Seeking Starwater is here with us too. Let's see. Push button 62. Let's see who else. Stacy Jones. Good to see you. Let's see. Anson Howard. How are you tonight, my friend? Good to see you as well. See, we got a good group of people with us here. Roger Ledwell's here with us. All right. So, man, the con game keeps going on and on and on and on and on and on, like I said last night. If this fake assassination bullshit hasn't woke people up to the idea of how this is what I said, they are playing you like a banjo. I'm a fast healer, he says. That's good enough. His opponent's not saying anything about it. No, but they're attacking the VP picks. That's fun. They're saying that was this one guy supposedly. This is the shit that gets you caught up in, and it's so sophomoric. Oh, this guy drank a gallon of horse juice, and this guy did something weird with a couch, and oh, look at this and look at that, and, and all this fucking shit, and they're both just playing both ends against the middle. I hope people can actually see that, man. I hope actually people can see it. Live music, welcome. Diane Redheffer, good to see you. And RF Killing Us Softly joined us as well, too. So, yeah, I mean, these PSYOPs are going on all around. You know, even this PSYOP bullshit with, what the fuck's his name? Duffy, Smiling Bob, the preacher. My God, there's another con game. These fucking preachers, they're con men. 90% of them are fucking con men. They're not really Christian or any other damn thing. They're just con men, salesmen. You know, are any of them noticing and talking about the obvious changes that are occurring supernaturally in the Bible? Not a fucking chance. No way. In fact, this derf is wanting to, oh, the earth's a globe. It goes against the Bible. Oh my God. Terrible, terrible, terrible shit that we're running across all day, every day. I saw today, I just saw that right now there's a live going on Witsit. There's probably a lot of people over there watching that. He's got Brother Nathaniel on there tonight. And I'm just wondering how that's even going to be able to stay up on YouTube, much less, you know, with Brother Nathaniel. He's very, very outspoken about the small hat people. And that's why Brother Nathaniel doesn't have a channel anymore on YouTube. So, you know, I used to listen to him all the time. You know, it's just like if you have to silence somebody, it doesn't mean that, it only means that you fear what they are about to say. And if you're afraid of what people are going to say, yeah, he is kind of eccentric in his mannerisms and shit. But I think that's one of the charms about Brother Nathaniel. His information straight up, right out, you know. Yeah, Lazarus says, I gave up on Whitsitt after he showed he still believes in politics. I know there's so many that are still believing in this. Charade, whatever, however you want to say. You want to be all frou-frou, you can call it a charade. That's cool. But you know what I'm saying? It is just it's a mental mind fuck. Every last bit of it is. Because what is it? It's government, governo mentis. It's control of the mind. And, you know, it's a small group of people trying to make a large group of people all think the same way. And it's wrong. It's absolutely wrong. You know, I mean, and even like these people that are supposed truthers, like everybody's going, oh, look at how awake Candace Owens is. And Robot Polisher, he's been fucking going on about this shit. It's all a game. There is no left and right. That's just a distraction, man. And it's to get you arguing back and forth with one another rather than look at who the common enemy is. And that common enemy we have is them, both left and right. Doesn't matter. All of them. They're just all, is one turd better than another? No, they're not. They're all turds. They're all turds. So there's no other way to look at it. You know, I'm not going to give up on people because I know this is something that runs really, really fucking deep. It's hard. It's embedded into you from the time you're a little kid. It's just like this globe shit. And that's the thing. You have to break your mind free of this crap. You really do. That's right, Maurice. They live, we sleep. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. He said you feel that he's in the controlled out. He's a controlled out. Very possible, man. Look, like the thing said. Shall we watch it again?
I'm scared, Dad.
Do you trust me, son?
Yes.
Come on, son. Rule number 1, never trust anybody.
That's it right there. You have to run everything through your own fucking filters. And part of that filter is your heart. How does that resonate? Does it resonate? Are you going along with it because it's popular? Because Are you agreeing with someone because it's popular, because there's a lot of people that do, because you like their personality or what you perceive to be their personality? Or is it because the information actually resonates with you? That's what's actually important, man. Right there. And you got to be careful because these hucksters, and I'm going to call them hucksters, whether they're a politician or whether they're a fucking preacher, they're politicians. Okay. They're trying to meld your mind into into the way they think it should be thinking. And that's dangerous. They don't discuss ideas, they tell you ideas. And that's the problem. Yeah, it is. And get ready, Chicago. We're getting ready. I'm going to show you a thing. This cracked me up. I couldn't believe it. And I'm wondering what the fuck happened with this guy. Let me see here. I'm going to have to get over here to my little feed. Let me see if I can get into, because I've seen this thing about Candace Owens. You know, she's on there going, oh, she's telling Donald Trump he needs to get back with Alex Jones. Well, holy fucking God, man. Really? Alex fucking Jones. Really? Come on, man. I mean, I'm sorry. If we are we at that much higher of a level than these goofballs are? Are we? I mean, I don't want to say that because it sounds narcissistic, but the reality of it is, it's like, come on, man, you're either working for them or you're really blind. One of the two. What is this thing about? Oh, this guy. I thought this was kind of funny. This guy at a board meeting. I want to play this real quick and then we'll get on with this. This is another thing. People are just kind of like not putting up with shit. Check this guy out. He's funnier than hell. He don't give a fuck. He don't give a fuck. Listen to this.
Good evening, cowards. Nice to see a bunch of fat, ugly women. What?
Excuse you.
What? They're fat, ugly women is what they are.
We're not having that.
You don't have to buy.
That ain't free speech.
It's called free speech. Buy.
That's not free speech. That's insulting.
That's good. And we wonder why children are retarded stupid today. We wonder why when we have these pathetic people here called teachers, the children's mind. That's why you people don't have the brains to see that this could be hurting children of the future who are going to grow up and be just as dumb as you. Good evening, cowards.
They're going to grow up just to be as dumb as you people. And it's like, that's exactly right. They do. They make people fucking retarded. Let me see here. Yeah, let me see if I get it. Everything's so out of order here. Hold on one second. Okay, here you go. Okay, so we know that we've got this. I mean, it's like we see the setup, and hopefully there's a lot of people who've seen the setup already, that since a few months now, they've had, or since early in the year, they had planned the bird flu summit in Washington, D.C. Okay. So I know that there's a thing on the website about it that says that if you had got your tickets before June 28th, you could have saved $625 and it's still up there that says, get your tickets before this date and save $625, which already tells you how expensive this fucking thing is to get tickets to. Like, boy, talk about a snooze fest, really. But I mean, interesting, the shit they're going to be talking about: morgue management, vaccine management, all this other bullshit. All you have to do is just do a fucking Google search for the bird flu conference, bird flu summit in DC. It'll take you right to the site. And so you've got this crazy shit going on with that. And it's like, why are you having this? There's not been any problems so far. There's been no problem so far, right? Well, here, this one hit the news. Get ready for the shit show. Okay. So just get ready for the shit show because this hit the news. And, oh, God, why is my volume down? There we go.
An Italian man is believed to be the first patient diagnosed with monkeypox, COVID-19, and HIV all at the same time. Previously, it was not believed that monkeypox and COVID infections could happen simultaneously. The man tested positive for COVID last month after returning from a trip to Spain. He then went to a hospital seeking treatment for a rash, which turned out to be monkeypox. He was treated for both of those viruses and sent home to isolate. He was also placed on a combination antiretroviral therapy that he will need to take for life because of the HIV. An Italian man is believed to.
What the fuck? Monkeypox, AIDS, and COVID all at the same time. This guy's like a time bomb of death, right? All right, so get ready for the shit show. I thought they'd already kind of abandoned the monkeypox thing, but apparently they haven't yet. But I haven't seen anything about a monkeypox summit. But they do have a bird flu summit going on, and that's trifecta, right on, Maria. A trifecta. I bet it, yes, indeed. As research shows, that is true, JP. Yes. Definitely of the butt surfing persuasion. There she is. What's happening, Dreamy?
Good evening. Oh, I found a very, very interesting document I think that everyone would be very interested in. It was written in 1576.
Whoa.
It's called Discourse of Voluntary Servitude. And basically it says something along the same lines that like your son talks about and stuff, Ryan.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll put the link in.
Please.
You can show it, and I can also put it in YouTube. But yes, I found it to be extremely pertinent to a lot of the conversations we have. Mm-hmm. And it talks exactly about how we're only supposed to have ourselves pretty much as our own boss, basically, and how we give everything away. And with all these elections, I keep hearing people, oh, are you paying attention to this? No, I haven't been. I'm just choosing not to participate.
Well, here's what's getting me, Dreamy, is this fucking guy says, oh, I've been shot in the ear, hell, Secret Service, blah, 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 right? Shows up, nothing wrong with his ear. His excuse is he's a fast healer. They leave it. They just accept that. That's fine. He's a fast healer. They just go with this. Right?
Right.
Nobody's going, wait, you fucking lied. Okay, you lied. You weren't shot. You lied. And everybody, both perceived sides, are in on it because nobody's even questioning it.
Right.
This is insane.
Well, I mean, it's become obvious to us. So why are people still participating? That's what gets
exactly. If I was his supporter, one of his supporters, and I had believed that, oh, the dude, he's got shot in the ear, and it was a miracle that he didn't get killed, and that's something else, and they're the deep state, blah, 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 blah. And then I see him show up in no amount of time with no fucking evidence of being injured at all. I got questions. And I'm a fast healer is not good enough, especially as you get older, because I literally have been a very fast healer in my life. And as I get older, I heal slower and slower as the older I get.
Right.
So I know that this 80-year-old, he's an octogenarian now, isn't he?
I don't know.
Right? This motherfucker just heals up like that. Oh, I'm just a fast healer, And
well, remember on Star Trek, the guy that played the doctor, that one alien, and he got injured, and then bam, he was miraculously cured. They could cut him, and he would just heal instantly. Are we dealing with these new world aliens?
Or are we dealing with like Dracula and shit? These vampires, when you cut them, they just heal, right? Do you see the movies? I don't know.
Yeah.
No, I think it's that the entire thing was a staged event. And it was to set some kind of a narrative, probably gun control, probably to get the right on board with getting rid of certain types of rifles and shit.
Yeah.
But the reality of it is that it wasn't real, and people are treating it like it was real. It's very obvious that it wasn't real. It really is. When you really start dissecting everything about it, you're like, no. Now you're building up all of these little rabbit holes for people to chase down. Oh, there's a guy on the water tower. Who's that guy mysteriously leaving from near the water tower? Now we're getting, and it's released by Donald Trump, the body cam footage from the cops that were going up and checking the roof and saw the guy. I mean, it's just it's so obvious. I mean, I could write a script better than this.
Right.
You know,
I mean,
it's just
it's
so
getting
obvious.
dumber and dumber all the time.
Yep.
It's like, are they trying to tell the people, hey, are you really gonna, just keep buying into this? Do we
Right.
have to keep babysitting you? We don't want to be your babysitters, but you just don't give a rat's ass.
Well, did you see this here with this here? This was in England.
Went on
This was in the UK, and they're having these people. What we're being told is that there's a lot of these riots, and I've confirmed that they are real. I know people that are there in some of the areas, and I've talked to them, and they said, yeah, this shit is happening. So a guy made a post on Facebook, and he ended up getting 20 months in prison. Well, watch this. Listen to this judge. I don't know what's up with the little stupid wig that they have to do in the British courts. That is just some of the dumbest looking shit I've ever seen in my life. But I mean, it's bad enough they come in there dressed like that, but then with the little wig,
Right.
I'm like, you got to be shitting me, really?
Well, remember, George Washington was a wig. They called them wigs back in those days, and they still are doing the wig thing.
You know, a big wig, where that came from, right?
I guess from these wig heads.
Well, it was, but here was the thing is that you had to wash those, and if you could afford to, the way that they would dry them after washing them was if they could hollow out a big loaf of bread, and they would put the wig inside of it and then put it into the oven so that it would dry the wig without singeing it or burning it, right? And it would cause it to fluff up real big like that. And so these people that had money to just throw away on bread like that, they were big wigs. Their wigs were big and high up on their heads.
Yeah.
That whole thing, it used to confuse me why they said in Yankee Doodle, put a feather in his cap and called it macaroni. And I was thinking,
Right.
what the fuck? What's that? Well, I find out later, much, much later in life, that macaroni was a hairstyle at the time. And it was that big hairstyle that you see him wear.
Oh, I see. I had no idea. I never went into that rabbit hole.
Yeah, I mean, I found that out, the macaroni hairstyle. I was like, what? Oh, okay, that makes sense now. I get it. Now Yankee Doodle makes sense finally after 50 years, Like, holy shit. But listen to this judge. He's just such a, and there it is, the volume way down.
Went on to say that you did not want your money going to immigrants who, quote, rape our kids and get priority, end quote. This offence is so serious that an immediate custodial sentence is unavoidable. Would you stand, please? The sentence that I pass has been reduced by 1/3 to reflect your guilty plea. The sentence is one of 20 months imprisonment. Went on to say that you did not want your money.
20 months imprisonment.
Wow.
Yeah. Now that's in England. So you think, oh, well, that can't happen here because we got the First Amendment, right?
Oh, they've been doing that crap here for
Yeah. Well, it says here that, let me
not
bring
so
this up.
openly, but they do it.
It says right here that University of Kentucky student pleads guilty after singing the N-word 200 times at black staffer in a 10-minute rant. Now, I've seen rap battles that say it more times in 10 minutes than that, but
Right.
okay. Prosecutors have demanded a year in jail and 100 hours of community service for a former Lexington University of Kentucky student, Sophia Rosing, 23, who assaulted staff and police officers during a drunken tirade of racist abuse in November of 2022. Rosing called a young female desk clerk the N-word 200 times and continued yelling racial slurs, biting and kicking officers, and boasting about her wealth. Well, it was probably the biting and kicking of officers that was the deal breaker there,
Right.
you know. On Monday, she pled guilty to 6 counts, including 4 assault, which were reduced to 4th-degree minor injury as part of a plea deal. She now faces 12 months in jail and has been suspended from the University of Kentucky, permanently banned from campus, and lost her job and social media partnerships. So let me see. It says here she pled guilty to 6 counts. Okay. And how many? See, this is crazy. Let's see what the video says about it. It's only a minute and a half. She's cute, but she's racist. Now, I would have to say I hear that word said more, you know, in a rap song, but I mean, why would you want to do that in the first place? I mean, it's just so you're just going to try to rile people up. That's fucking stupid, man.
Well,
I mean, you would think, you know, she's a nice looking young lady. And then, you know, what the fuck, you know, there's alcohol. There's your alcohol for you.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, that, and you
Yeah,
choose
she
a
is.
word, and then you say this person can use it because of their color. This person can't use this word because of their color. So, you know, it's like everyone will just flip them the bird and say, you know,
Right.
get on with it. You know, it's a
You know,
word.
that's what I'm saying.
There's a lot of
conditioning-
words that are bad that we don't necessarily like. You know, there's lots of things
Exactly.
people call
It's-
each
it-
other.
Listen, this kind of conditioning, for instance, like you can't, people are afraid to say the word Jew.
Right.
They really are. They'll soften their breath. They have this recoil to saying that word. Why? Because of the constant harping of anti-Semitism. And this is what always gets me. I agree. Okay, let's knock it off with the slang. Let's knock it off with the derogatory references to people by ethnicity or whatever. I agree. But then you turn around and say, oh, hey, listen here, it's Jay-Z or whoever else. And every other fucking word in the song is the N-word. And I'm like, lead by example, motherfucker. Jesus.
Yeah.
You know, that's just like saying, oh, look, now I have a thing, I can say it, but you can't. And I'm like, you know what? It doesn't matter who says it. It's just a word. And even if somebody just says N-word, everybody knows what it means, right?
Right.
It's like when they blank out and say, you know, well, F you. You already
Right.
know what I meant. It doesn't
Right.
matter. It went off in your head, you know? So it's just like people need to just learn how to control their reactions, not be so fucking reactionary to shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's where everybody's at. They're reactionary and not actionable. You know, oh, Ironworks is doing some more on the Urbano Monte map. I'm going to go over there and join that later on after we get done here. It's going to be really, we had a good time the last time. So, you know, but when I was looking at this, I was like, holy shit, you know, that girl, she could be, you know, so much ahead of her, you know, and she looks like she's got a lot of advantage. Let's face it, pretty girls have more advantage. And if she were just to have her inside as shiny as her outside, boy, would she really have something. But that's really
What crime was she really committing before they
Nothing.
interfered with her? See, people say, see her as a problem because, oh, well, she assaulted the cops and everything. Well, what business did they have to even approach her? She was using a word. She was using a word that's publicized. It's published. in the, like you say, the rap industry. It is highly published. She,
Right.
who cares what color she is? She used the same word another person used, you
Mhm.
know? So
That's it.
yeah, I say
Yeah.
I say that the problem is people can't discern between, you know, it's just somebody using a word versus, oh, here's this divide between us. We need to choose that officer side because she was in the wrong for speaking her mind. You know what I mean? No matter
Right,
what
well,
her
it's
position is.
wrong thinking. I've seen where they're sending police to go investigate people for wrong thinking in England too.
Yeah,
Think about that.
that's
How
crazy.
Orwellian. I mean, I knew it was trouble. In early 1985, I went over to England and I saw George Orwell's house. And I've got a picture of it someplace. I got to find it. I wish, or maybe I don't have the picture anymore. Who knows? But his house had surveillance cameras on it. And I thought, that's irony. You know, I was
Right.
like, here's George Orwell's house with fucking surveillance cameras all over it. Wow.
Well, he's going to keep himself safe, you know.
Right,
You know
right.
who's
Well, he's
coming
gone
before they
wrong,
climb the wall.
yeah. I mean, this is just some crazy, crazy shit. And you know, I mean, and it all starts with how they get people to fucking believe what they get them to believe. And like I said, even with and why not? We'll just do that too. The J word, you know, people recoil from saying the word Jew. They say, oh, I don't want to get labeled an anti-Semitic. And they don't realize that that stupid word is just made up. It's a made up word.
And what's the difference? People say, oh, I'm Catholic. Are we supposed to be afraid to say, oh, there goes a Catholic. Oh, there goes a Jew. There goes a Baptist. They label themselves.
Right.
And that's why I just found it so, I mean, if you read that document, you know, voluntary servitude, if you really read it, it is so simple. And people put themselves in these positions. We basically put ourselves by participating in it. And so you're right. I mean, I'm not afraid to say Jew. I mean, I've heard several of the people I watch on YouTube. They're supposedly Jewish. Roseanne Barr is one of them.
Yeah,
the DUI guy is one of them. But I mean,
Yeah.
I don't care. I don't care what
Dave
labels
Weiss.
they got him themselves.
Dave Weiss, and he doesn't fucking care if you make fun of him or not. Either.
There's
You know, I mean,
there's
he's
people
totally
everywhere.
chill. He doesn't get bent. He really doesn't get bent.
Right. Yeah, they don't.
You know, there are those that do, and it's like only when you point out the negative aspects of, you know, and I gotta say, it is an overly represented group of people for the populace, for the percentage of populace, and I find that really quite interesting. And it's mostly through false sympathy that they have achieved this.
Right.
And also control of the banks, but that's another story.
And who told everyone that this was negative or that we shouldn't say it? Think about,
Right,
you know,
yeah.
who delivered that message. It's not the average everybody out there. I mean, we got to, you know, start taking responsibility for self. Stop blaming everybody. That's
Well,
kind
and
of
here's like another tactic that they use. Here's another thing that's like I see, and it's like especially right now when they're trying to drum up you hating Muslims. Right? Here's the thing going around. It says young girls are forced by their own mothers to marry older men in Muslim countries. You either stand with Israel or with this. Okay, and you got 44 seconds. And prayer being sung. But you see, she's crying and everything like that. And it's, oh my God, look at, she's being forced to marry this guy, right? Okay. So, bullshit. It's just imagery with someone else's narration. What is it really? What's it looked into? It says the girl is not being forced into marriage against her will. That's not even the proper marriage form. She was apparently caught shoplifting in Bangladesh, and they're trying to get her to sign a confession statement. However, this is a perfect example of Zionist propaganda.
Right. Yeah, that's how I see a lot of it. They're taking images and they're putting it in a different narrative. I mean, main reason I say that is because there's this one clip. It's and it was supposedly of that shooting in Florida at the school. And then they had this ambulance and whatnot showing them entering the emergency room or the emergency area of the hospital. That clip has been used multiple times for different stories, including that one.
It's stock film. Yeah.
So it's not even, did they stage it all at that point in time and use that for all this different footage that they're using? And then you hear,
probably.
Yeah, that's why I'm really careful, because I know
you've watched that old BBC TV show that they had called Newsbenders. It was a little had Ray Milland, I think. No, not Ray Milland. What is that guy's name?
I haven't watched a lot of BBC, just little bits and pieces.
Oh, listen, this thing is crazy. This guy goes for an interview for this job, and the guy tells him, they said, we want you to write the news for such and such a year. And he's like, but it hasn't happened yet. And he goes, that's because you haven't written it.
Right.
And he's like, what? And the guy takes him aside and shows him, says, look, we're just giving people stories, man. And he goes, well, what about the such and such rocket launch? And he goes, oh, that was just a model. Look. And he says, it's in here, and shows it to him. And then the guy can't turn it down because he'll be killed. So he has to take the job. He knows too much now. It's really a great story. It's called Newsbenders. You can find it on YouTube. It's really good.
Yeah, and that's so true, because even locally we'll hear something on the news and I'm like, well, where did that happen? I'm right here. I'm only a couple blocks. I would have heard something like that, like a major wreck or something like that.
Yeah.
I've heard them at the intersection. So yeah. And then I'm like, that didn't happen. What are they talking about? I'm less than a block away. Right. So yeah, I've caught that even in our local news. And I don't really watch our local news really so much, because I only have a TV or nothing. But I just catch things through the grapevine, and then I'm like, what the heck are you talking about? No, that didn't happen over here. So yeah, a lot of it's just a lot of really good or really bad fiction.
Oh my God, yes.
And it really blows my mind that somebody states away will pick up on some little tidbit about something and then not know anything and then totally blow it out of proportion. That's why listen to you.
We had that cop get shot just up the road from me, like just a couple doors up in front of like 3 houses up from me. And I heard the shots. I didn't think anything of it at the time, because you hear gunshots all the time, people sighting in their rifles, deer hunters, whatever. This in particular was a 22. I could tell by the report. And a little while later, they had all these cops out in the road, and I was like, what's going on? And they found out that those 2 shots was this guy shot a cop, killed him. By the time the story got back to me was that there was a big, huge gun battle that went on my road, and there was more than 80 bullet holes in the cop car. And I was like, that is what the what? No, there wasn't. There was only 2 shots fired. That was it. Pop, pop. That was it. It was over. Nobody else fired anywhere. Now, when they ended up finding the guy, he was in a barn hiding, and they found him, and let's just face it, they made up an excuse and lit him up like it was the 4th of fucking July.
Right.
And but yeah, that was the thing. But that's how the story ended up back, after I heard it from people who weren't even near it. Right. And I was like, that's horse shit, because they were talking about it in the store. Heard people talking about it. And I says, that just happened like 3 doors up from my house, man. There was only 2 shots, and it was a 22.
Yeah.
And it's these people had it all embellished out that there was a fucking gun battle on the road and all this other crap. It's like, good God, man.
The War of 2012 happened in your backyard.
Oh my God, yes, it was apocalypse. Jeez, these
Oh, I
people.
said 2012. I mean 18. It might as well be 2012, right?
Oh, yeah, I can't keep up with how fast shit's
Well,
going.
see, it's like I live close to Hanford, right? And whenever they had the caving in of the tunnels out there where they have cars, train cars of nuclear waste and whatnot underground.
Mhm.
Well, what most people don't know is that the fault line runs right under that. It also runs under our highway over here. And how you know is because they keep it paved and periodically it gets cracks and everything. So when you're driving down the freeway, you'll
Mhm.
hit this little spot that goes up and down, a little gully. So it makes your belly tickle, right? It's just
Mhm.
gentle. But that same fault runs under Hanford. So when we had a small earthquake here and everything, the tunnel crumbled or,
Oh
caved
shit.
in some in one spot, just in one spot. And everyone was that had their YouTube channels, and one was Dabu7 and a few others in that time line, all talking about that kind of stuff, and was talking about Apache helicopters and the federal government and blah 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 being all out there, and there was some kind of this great big huge thing that the world was gonna
Yeah, I
fall
know.
apart.
It's really
They were,
Dabu's terrible with that
and
fucking
and
doomsday
they
shit.
were so melodramatic, and I'm sitting here,
Yeah.
I'm like, y'all, I mean, I was in their chat, a couple different ones, and I'm like, y'all stop
Doomsday
listening
cult.
to that crap. It's a federal facility. All the nuclear waste from across the United States get brought here, dumped here. They turn it into isotopes for cancer patients. Come on, you guys just don't get that. Of course, if they have some kind of a breach, there's going to have federal helicopters and everything, make sure. But I said it had nothing to do with a breach of any kind. We had an earthquake and
Yeah.
that caused a cave in because there's a hole under the ground. It's just the common sense things. People just going, oh, you're
Well, it
serious?
gets a,
Oh my gosh.
they get clicks, they get views and shit
Yes.
because they sensationalize it, and
Fear porn.
yeah, and people are really they get addicted to that dumb shit. And it's everything. It's like, look, even if it is the fucking end of the world happening, even if it is, there ain't a goddamn thing you can do about it. So
Right.
just sit back and watch, man. Okay, chill.
Right. I
Smoke a
was
bud.
told you just don't care what's going on. I said, no, I'm just being realistic here. I'm just telling
Yeah.
you the truth. This is something, I mean, if you dig a tunnel under the ground and you have an earthquake, there's that possibility it's going to collapse, right? I mean, some of these tunnels that they have out there, which are supposed to protect, people from getting, from any of the radiation going out into the air. It's just logical, but they get everybody all excited and scared, and then they're telling me, oh, well, you just don't care. Well, yes, I do care. I mean, it's safer underground than it is above, but you have a earthquake or a tremor and you're sitting on a fault line, what's going to happen?
That's why I say,
common sense.
enjoy the cavern video that I have on my channel, because
Okay.
it'll probably be a while before I go back in there. I ain't much into being underground,
Oh.
not much
Yeah.
into it at all. But these salesmen, charlatans, liars, gaslighters, my God, it seems like the most common form of bullshittery that occurs is this gaslighting shit. Whether it be with the Globe or whatever. This is this guy, Michio Kaku. Listen to this character.
First of all, we have the theory of gravity. Gravity keeps you on this floor. Gravity attracts everything around its vicinity to create gravity around the Earth. Or, as we say in our astronomy courses when we teach our kids, gravity sucks. Gravity sucks evenly. It pulls everything to the center. But then Einstein gave us a different picture. Gravity doesn't suck at all. We tell our students, we lied to you. Gravity does not pull you to the floor. Space pushes you down. Why are you sitting in your chair today? Does gravity pull you to the floor? No, there is no such thing as gravitational pull. We lied to you. The space around you is warped, and space itself is pushing you down into your chair, and that's why you're sitting in your chair today.
Why are you sitting in your chair today? Does gravity pull you to the floor? No, there is no such thing as gravitational pull. We lied to you.
So they flip it and say just the opposite, and then we're supposed to believe that. Instead of being pushed, we're not, or pulled, now we're being pushed. That's
Right.
just more asinine bullshit.
It's gaslighting.
Yeah.
It's
I mean,
fucking
come on.
gaslighting. It's like there's no. It's ridiculous. It really is. It's so
Yeah.
simple. It's so simple when explained with relative density disequilibrium.
Yeah.
But that doesn't allow for planets and galaxies and having Martians and space travel and all the rest of this other fucking nonsense. See, that's out. That's out now. See.
Well, that goes back to that article or whatever that I've been reading on the voluntary servitude. You're just giving your brain to somebody else to think for you, so you don't have to, think for yourself. Basically, that's all it is. Is you're going, look, I'm too lazy to think for myself. You can put whatever you want. I'm here
Smart
for
by
extra
proxy.
service.
It's smart by proxy.
Yeah.
As I've said before, you regurgitate something that someone you perceive as smart has said, and therefore by proxy it makes you smart. You see, even if they don't understand it, they haven't dissected it, they're just regurgitating what somebody else told them. And because
I find
of their
that
perception,
that more mockery, don't you? When somebody's like him on that video, he's mocking. He doesn't believe that shit. He's mocking everybody that buys into it. That's how I see it. He says, if you're this stupid, I'll feed you full of whatever kind of bullshit you want to eat. That's basically what he's doing. So that's mockery, right?
Mm-hmm. And I mean, you got to be able to smell a con.
Yeah.
That's like with this Duffy character, man. I can smell the fucking con. It's there. First off, I already know people don't fucking spend that kind of money like that if there's no return on it. Okay. And there's got to be a bigger return than, oh, we're going to establish once and for all. No, wait a minute. Wait, hold up. Well, you're going to establish once and for all. Why don't you just save the money and have somebody that's already down there do it?
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
How come nobody's done it so far? Why is all of a sudden this year, 2024, why all of a sudden is this year the year that's going to be the definitive thing? See, that tells me right off the bat that there's some fuckery about.
Yeah, why not just get a hold of the military and say, hey, we know you let a lot of scientists go down there and check out the penguins. We have a few questions, if you don't mind getting us in touch with one of them researchers. I mean, how hard can it be, right?
Well, I just saw a video here recently. A guy called a travel agency, said he wanted to go down to see the 24-hour, the midnight sun in Antarctica. And the travel agent said, there isn't one. We don't have that. We have that in the north, but there's no 24-hour sun tour. There's no midnight sun tour for the south. That's in the Arctic.
Yeah.
Okay, so you see that. So anyway, the thing is, you can smell the con. One, why all of a sudden this year? Two, who the fuck is just going to say, I'm going to send some random people down there and settle this once and for all? And I want to find out for myself. But if the one guy goes, he'll only go if Whitsitt goes. And Whitsitt can go only if Duffy gives up his seat, because Duffy can only pay for two, himself and another, right? That's the excuse. So if he has to give up his seat, now he's relegated again to what you already have. And that's people telling you a story about their experience, right?
Like that
So you're in
resort.
the same fucking boat. Was that worth that amount of money? I don't think so.
But I read up on it. That resort has been there and existed for for many years, centuries. It's not going into Antarctica as in the deeper portions of it, It's the very tip of it that sticks way out past it. It's like Florida, as a finger that sticks out there, with the Gulf of Mexico and the Atlantic Ocean. Well, this sticks way up, and they've had this. I looked into it, so they're not going anywhere special. It's a freaking resort that's been going on for a long time.
Since 85, I think this place has had that camp there. I believe that's what I read.
Right.
But I mean, we've actually had people since 1909 establish bases in Antarctica.
Yes.
I don't see how all of a sudden this year is going to be the definitive thing. Another thing about it too is they say, "Oh, you have to go to the 80th parallel." Okay, wait a second. Why would I have to go all the way that far south if I don't have to go that far north to see it in the north?
Right.
Right? That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
All right. So there's some fuckery about. Now, this guy straight up, I see him, he's a con man. Straight up and simple. Okay? His little financial record proves that with the multiple times he's been sued or had to be arbitrated for financial fuckery. Okay? So this guy's a con man. He wants to play like he's a Christian preacher. No, that wasn't his chosen wheelhouse. He was passed that down like a scepter of sorts by Bob Enyart, who is a kind of a shady motherfucker too.
Yeah.
Well, not kind of, he is or was very shady. So right off the bat, shady people hang out with shady people. This guy's admittedly spent ungodly amounts of time with Enyart, and then he wants to come up with this little cockamamie bullshit story that I didn't know anything about. I didn't know anybody that was into flat earth or anything, and really didn't look into it until some woman that I knew hit me with it on Facebook. You lying motherfucker, shut up.
Right.
I'm not buying your little folksy goddamn smiling Bob act. What's the real deal, Duffy? What's the real deal? That's what I want to know. I'm looking through all your bullshit. Oh Lord.
Right.
We got Noel. Noel is here.
Well, I've known two guys. They were in the military, both of them, different branches and whatnot. But they'd grown up. They went through school. They graduated. They joined the military and everything. When they got back, they went to seminary.
Right.
And they were flat refused to go on and become preachers because they said there was no way they were going to do to their congregations what was being asked of them.
Right.
So most preachers automatically already know what they're doing is wrong and do it anyways. So they're all con artists.
Can I say something?
Sure. What would you like to say, Noel?
I would like to say what's in your background. That's
What do you mean,
cool.
what's in my background? I'm on the space station. I'm on the International Space Station. Yeah.
Can you walk around? Can you walk around in it? I want to see what's there.
Oh, you look back. There's my friend and co-pilot. That's Something Wong is his name, and he's up here to pack bowls for me and make sure that we fly straight and level.
That's cool.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. For real. So yeah, here's some of the con game shit. All these coincidences they always want you to fucking agree with, think about. Think that they're possible. Like one that I think is really great. Well, the sun and the moon appear to be the same size merely because the sun is 400 times larger and 400 times further away. It just so happens that they look like they're the same size. It's like, get out of here with that
Right.
dumb shit, man. Come
Excuse
on,
me,
y'all.
can I please talk to her?
Yeah.
So what's your channel? What's her channel? I need to subscribe to it.
No,
mine?
Yes.
Are you on YouTube?
Yes, I am.
Okay, I'll just say hi and you can, well, let me just go to my channel and give it to you, okay?
there you go. There you go. So anyway, well, and then you can go and check that out. So here's on coincidence. This is crazy.
Let's play a game.
Is this loud enough? Yes, it is.
I'm about to give you a bunch of random situations, and you can tell me how many random coincidences the world is full of. So this is Ari Dego. He patented technology on free energy. He was headed to the airport to go meet some investors, but he never made it to his flight because he was found dead in his car. That's random. This is Stefan Marinov. He is the leader of the European free energy movement. In 1997, he had a major breakthrough, and as they were working on their prototype, he was found dead. What? Yeah, apparently he fell out of a window. This is Dr. John Mullen. He is a nuclear physicist that worked for one of the largest military contractors in the world. Apparently, he discovered something really big in the realm of energy, but unfortunately, before he could come out with this information, he died from arsenic poisoning. But don't worry, his girlfriend was the primary suspect. She was actually found dead in her apartment as well. They didn't go after any other suspects. Case closed. This right here is Dmitry Petronov. He invented a plasma battery that powered his 2-story house for 14 months. One day he went to go get bread from a bakery and was never seen again. Zachary Warfield was also working on a plasma battery. He actually met with Dmitry a couple of times where they would exchange notes. He mysteriously died in a boating accident in Washington, D.C. Eugene Milov was an expert physicist in cold fusion. He claimed to have a working prototype of a free energy device, but the day before he was going to go public, he was beaten to death. That's so random. Rory Johnson invented a cold fusion motor that generated over 500 horsepower. The Department of Energy took a restraining order against technology so he could never publicize it, and you're never going to guess what happened to him. Everyone who knew him said he was super healthy, had no health issues, but he died mysteriously. Mark Tomian was awarded a patent for a zero-point energy system. After he developed his working prototype, he was found mysteriously dead, and the crazy thing is his research is missing. What? Or you might recognize this one. This is Stan Thompson. He developed a car that ran off of water. After developing his working prototype, he went to go to lunch with 2 investors so that he'd gain money to push this technology out there. He died during lunch. His last words were, "I've been poisoned."
Excuse me, I don't
Nikola
see it.
Tesla believed he could make free energy. And all of his research was funded by guess who? J.P. Morgan. When he claimed to have figured it out and he wanted additional capital so that he could expand his inventions, J.P. Morgan shut him down. I'm sure it has nothing to do with the fact that J.P. Morgan owned General Electric, he owned copper mines, he owned rubber mills. Anyways, the reason why the world has so much inequality, the reason why things are so expensive, it has nothing to do with the fact that we keep inventing technology that can help people, but we suppress it. Anyways, I don't know, what do you guys think? Isn't that crazy? What coincidences? The world is a weird place.
Everybody that comes up with this free energy shit ends up getting killed.
Let's play a game. I'm
Every
about to
one
give
of
you a
them.
bunch.
Yeah.
What's up with that? No longer on the ball. Look at here. What's up, brother?
You must be muted.
You're muted or something, bro.
Hey, there we go.
There we go.
Yep.
There we go.
Yeah, I just did a stream just now, so I had my mic muted because when I play music, it'll hear background noise and crap through my mic. My setup is crazy, so fun times. Anyway,
Get you a
I saw
G-Force. Get
a
you one of these
G-Force?
Samsung G-Force, not Samsung, Samson.
Uh-huh.
And this thing, it's got 2 tracks to it. It's got its own echo cancellation, and this thing is, man, it's a good mic. It's sensitive too, man. I can, if I've got YouTube on in the living room, people have heard it play through this microphone. That's how it fucking, yeah, it's a really good one, man.
Wow. Yeah, I don't know.
They're
I
little,
use
they're
cheap
little, they're
little
not.
thing.
Yeah. I mean, they're not cheap. They're a little higher end, but I mean, they're definitely worth the money. They really are. I can actually
Yeah.
plug them. I can plug my guitar into this too.
Nice. Oh, wow. Yeah, I got my wife a little box, a little mixer, so she could plug in keyboard, her microphones, or all that
There you
stuff
go.
into a computer because she was recording music and stuff. So she's got better stuff than I do.
Right? There's Taking Back Eden's joined us. Sounds like he's mobile. Are you mobile, Eden? Yeah, it don't sound real good though.
Okay, let me see if I can fix it. Thanks for the show, by the way.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hey, Eden, good to see ya.
Thank you.
Look at
Likewise.
these people that get up here and try to act like they care about people and shit. Watch this fucking crazy ass. Watch her.
We wanted our pastor to come into the picture.
Push her away. Like, don't touch me, you little peasant child. Get out of here. Go on. Go on, get out of here.
Oh, that's hilarious.
And look at that plastic fucking smile that they put on. All of them. If people can't see the disingenuous aspect of these people's smiles, I don't know what to tell you, man. I mean, if you are still thinking that any of this fucking politics shit is real, you need to bang your head a couple of times and wake the fuck on up, man, because I have realized that there is this is all just a big show. Every bit of it. They're all in on it too. That's what's so fucking crazy, man. They are all in it. Taking Back Eden's devices are no longer connected, but he's still backstage. I don't know how that's possible, but it's happening. Yeah, this is it's like Jesus criminally the things that they're saying with I mean, nobody's bothering going, hey, Mr. Trump, we couldn't help but notice that that's kind of miraculous that an octogenarian can heal as quickly as you have. What is your secret? How did you do that? I mean, your doctor literally said when interviewed that he examined you and that it was consistent with a bullet because it was scooped out. This means pieces of your ear were missing. This means that you somehow regenerated cartilage for the first fucking time ever in the history of human physiology. You regenerated cartilage. Can you elaborate on that, Mr. President? I mean, please do. No, I'm a fast healer, he said.
Right.
I mean, who's buying that shit, right? Who's buying that shit? These fucking Kool-Aid drinkers, that have been lulled into a sophomoric sense of fucking mental stability. Mm-hmm. That's where they're at. Oh, well, your VP drank horse semen. Oh, well, yours tried to hump a couch. Oh, and it's like, we're actually adults. These are adults. These are supposed to be adults that are right now. Any one of those little stories like that, I could believe about any one of them because I know that they're all a bunch of freaks, perverts, and weirdos, man. There ain't a one of them that's not. I know they're all psychopathic because only a psychopath wants to have power over other people. Mm-hmm. So what do we got? We got a big group of psychopaths telling everybody what the fuck they can and can't do. Really?
Exactly.
We're going to put up with that? We're going to put up with that.
Hey, Dreamy. Good to see ya.
Good to see you too. Yeah, I'm telling you that we have to blame ourselves. We're the ones that allowed this, plain and simple. So we can sit here and say, oh, well, this person said this in our schools, and our teachers, and we can just keep blaming. But we participated, for Pete's sakes, even if we did it so in our own ignorance. We're not ignorant little children anymore.
Nope. Jim Jones was a cheap motherfucker. Look at that, man. Couldn't even spring for the good shit, right? He had to use Flavor Aid. He didn't use Kool-Aid. That's all.
Yeah,
Cheap son of a bitch.
part of believing this, and of course, growing up, it's our faults for not knowing any better. I mean, I agree with that to a point. I mean, as children is when they trained us to think the way we do, to
Right.
to throw away what we feel and to accept, and we've been taught that our whole lives.
Yeah. I'm not blaming us as children. I'm saying now that we are adults, right? We're the age of majority. Okay, let me just ask it this way. What makes Trump any smarter than you? You're an adult man. You're the age of majority, right? So what makes him any better of a person or a worse person or anything other different than you are?
Well, because people equate it to the shekels. People equate him to the money, to the things that they wish to have. You understand? And the whole thing is, if he was brilliant, why did he have to be bailed out so many times by the Rothschilds? Why did he go bankrupt and have to be bailed out? He's supposed to be a big fucking business tycoon.
But that's what I'm saying. Everybody's putting all their faith in him. They're worshiping. They're creating a god out of him, right? But they're capable of all the very same things he's capable of.
Well, it don't seem to me if you're no better off than anybody else, the average Joe Blow out there. If you
they are just average Joe Blows.
It's exactly right. That's exactly right. So what happened with your Taj Mahal? What's up with that, bro? How come you had to have Wilbur Ross bail you out? How come you ended up appointing him Treasury Secretary? Oh, I wonder, probably because he bailed you out.
That was all part of the plan because they got to use. Remember, that was just all part of the plan. They claimed to bail him out, but then they got to use his name so that they could keep the business running. It was a win-win situation for both of them. He didn't have to pay the bank back, and the bank got to use his name. Woohoo! Big deal.
Right.
I could make the same kind of deal with you or somebody else, right?
Right.
It's just how you play the game.
That reminds me. Can you guys hear me better now? With this one?
Yeah, way better.
All right. Hi, Jimmy. Good to see you no longer on the ball, and likewise, Sav.
Yeah.
So I had a quick question for you guys about the slave masons, if you don't mind. So I saw this one documentary. Oh, no, sorry, it was a film. Some of it was filmed here in the province that I live in, but it was about the slave masons. So when you get to the top, let's say the 33rd level, which Trump is, if I'm not mistaken, right? Is a Scottish.
From what I understand, he's a Royal Arch.
Yeah. So if I'm not mistaken, when they get to the top level, they can war within their own community, and I think they have their own rule book, and they can choose whether. I'm not sure. Maybe you guys will let me know. I'm not a Freemason. I don't really know anyone firsthand, but supposedly they can choose a path of light, or they can choose a path of war. Do you think that's true?
I wouldn't have any idea, man. It's a secret, right?
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, it's like, how would I know? I hear all kinds of things about it. When I hear a whistleblower, quote unquote, come out and tell these things that are supposedly the secrets of the Masons, and I'm wondering, why are they still alive? If they hold true to their oath, and their oath is that sacred, how come the guy is still alive? Why is he still able to tell anybody that? Unless it's being sanctioned. You understand?
Oh, yeah, that's a great point.
Also, if you go, and you can look this up yourself, you can create a club of any kind, set it up anywhere. A club creates rules unto itself. No one outside can stop you from whatever rules you want to make, because it's considered a private club.
That's right.
And the reason I say that, I lived in a dry county, meaning they didn't sell alcohol of any kind in our county.
I've heard of
And
this.
yet we could have bars in our county. Yeah. As long as it was a private, listed as a private club, and you had a membership.
Yep.
Churches are private, they have memberships. The Masons, private membership.
Yep.
The Shriners private memberships. So that's all that is. It's
I'm
just-
the head of a secret society that is so secret that I don't even know what the fuck it is. So I think I'm even one up on these guys.
Are you the president of that secret club, or do you know?
I don't know. It's a secret. So,
Make the prime minister of
That's
it.
I'm the grand poobah. The grand poobah. This is pretty good. This is the Rothschilds, you know, that comes right down to it. But there again, you have to understand when it comes down to that, everybody knows about the Rothschilds. It's because they're a front for another darker group. You understand? This is multi-layered.
Could you explain the Rothschilds? Many of you, I'm sure, have seen the three little globes that hang around the pawn shop as the emblem of a pawn shop. That comes from 3 acorns off the Rothschild family crest. They were moneylenders to begin with in Austria, and they became, which they are now, the richest family in the world. They are not considered humans by the occult world. They're considered gods. They believe that gods, sons and daughters of Lucifer, dwell in these human bodies. And when the humans die, the Rothschilds die, they go into the next Rothschild born. And they're not to be treated as men, they're to be treated as gods. And believe me, they are treated as gods. Their word is absolute law. That's the Rothschilds. They founded the Illuminati, and many people can't understand why a family of Rothschilds would create a conspiracy for a takeover that they never hoped to see fulfilled. But that's because witches believe in reincarnation. They believe that they would be alive during that time to see it happen. Could you explain the Rothschilds?
Which is, I've theorized that. That's amazing. I hadn't watched that yet. But that's amazing that he said that, because I've theorized that you know, these demonic entities pass from family member down to the next family member when it's time, you know, like in that TV show Stargate, you know, the Goa'uld were inhabiting a human host. And when that human host was ill or ended up, you know, gonna die, they had this ceremony where they transferred the parasitic organism over to another human host of that organism's choosing. You know, and maybe you have to have some kind of a compatible genetic code to be able to be inhabited. You know what I'm saying? And that's why they want to keep the bloodline so close, you know?
Another thing is these people all have signed non-disclosure, even if they leave the club. Okay, they have a non-disclosure agreement. If they disclosed information, they would either end up in prison and dead, because those things are legal and binding. So I think a lot of the stuff that we are hearing is just people's conjured up ideas. And, you know, we have this AI, so you can take somebody's voice and you can make it say whatever you want to say in their voice. You can just type it out and it will use their voice to say whatever. So there's a lot of things. Remember here not too long ago, a few years back, we were seeing all these news clips where the mouth was not saying what we were hearing. And people, it's just that they're out of sync. No, they were literally, I have a daughter that was deaf, so she reads lips. And she goes, no, Mom, they're not even saying the same thing. You know, plus you can look at it and it doesn't even look like they're saying the same thing.
Yeah, only people with keen eyes will catch that, or a sense of their surroundings, or if they're paying attention. So thank you for sharing that. I believe that.
But they sign non-disclosures. If you're in a private club, you sign you sign something that says you're not going to say anything. If you do, you will be held accountable for it.
Yeah, I'm sure there are some whistleblowers that have gotten their message out, and it's going to be passed around.
Yeah, that's you know, that's true too. But they still are bound, so it wouldn't be in the public.
Listen, I'll tell you what, I don't think that real whistleblowers actually make it to the that's the one. That's the one right there. No longer on the ball. I'm pretty sure. Let me bring it up.
Yeah,
that's it. How much are they asking for that thing?
140.
Yeah, that ain't bad. That ain't bad. It's those are really they're nice too. It's nice. I got that in a boom. you know, to hook on the desk, and that really keeps it up out of the way too. But yeah, I like it. I can plug a guitar into it. It's got a 2-track feature. I can use it with headphones or without, so seems to work out pretty good.
Nice.
But I'm saying real whistleblowers, they end up never getting to tell their story.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
Kind of sort of like Epstein, never got to tell a story, huh?
right. Well, even if that was a real thing, you
Right.
know,
I'm just using that as an example. There's a really good one, you know.
I think they made that unaliving of him a cover story for taking him out of there. I think he was way too valuable.
Right.
And I think he's way too connected too. I mean, you don't just go sit in the King of England's fucking throne, you know. Oh, we're on tour at Buckingham Palace here. We're just going to go have a seat in the thrones. No, you don't do. No.
Right.
No.
Yeah. You
So,
ain't gonna make it.
and I already know that that's a dirty bunch. The Royals, they're terrible. They're the most awful. A history of terrible shit. And when you start looking into the dark history of the Royals, they're awful people. And this is why I cannot understand for the life of me how people can lift them up and adore them. It's got to be a spell. It's the only thing I can understand, how people are thinking the Wicked Witch is a beautiful princess. You know, that's basically what's going on. People are not seeing these fucking people for what they are, and they're evil, psychopathic weirdos, man. And you're adoring them. You're encouraging them. You give them the limelight. You give them the importance. You feed them.
Well,
and like
that's
Dreamy said, they all, at the end of the day, everybody drops trow and takes a dump, man. It ain't no different than you.
That's why I could never understand how anyone could go and see horror movies. Maybe it's because of my childhood. I had enough horror. I lived through the horror, but the thing is they craved it. They would go in, they'd come out and laugh. I mean, it just, even to this day, you know, and I'm almost 60, I cannot for the life of me see how anyone can think that that's entertainment or fun.
Mm-hmm.
You see that kind of crap. I can't watch it.
Well, from a biblical point of view, Satan has a major role in that for sure. He's gonna have people attached to these sort of films, and they'll find ways to get attached to them through stimulation, rewards, and such. But that's just my opinion. Oh, but yeah, I did want to share with you guys about something about. Remember, we were talking about reincarnation and inhabitation. So I was thinking about how the soul and how hauntings might take place here. Feel free to. I'd love to your opinion. So, do you know how heaven in biblical cosmology is above? It's above the sun itself, so it's right above us. So, just like heavenly light, I believe light is like comes in a trinity itself. So light emotions, right? Happy, sad, light and weight, so heavy and light, and then light and lumens, so bright and darkness. So I think what happens is why we have hauntings here is potentially some souls that are attached to earth or heavenly items. They can't physically get to heaven above because they're literally attached to something that's heavy. And furthermore, we have maybe dark and heavy emotions for some of these souls. So that's why they'll stay here. They can't physically get to heaven without the help of Jesus.
Well, I have to wonder, like, what I've noticed a pattern of is that these occurrences seem to be in and around areas that have had trauma and you know, that kind of thing. And I like to bring into count Gettysburg Battlefield, which is one of the most quote unquote haunted places you're ever going to encounter. Stories that have come out of there by reputable people are amazing. There were some foreign dignitaries that were here, and they visited the Gettysburg Battlefield, and basically on their own little self-guided tour. And they came back to the visitors center and they thanked them for the beautiful reenactment of the battle. They said it was so realistic. They'd never witnessed anything so realistic. How did they do it? And the park people are looking at him like, what are you talking about? And these people had actually witnessed like a ripple in time or something, like this tragic event that had taken place. You got to figure all those people dying a horrific, violent death and the psychic trauma
Absolutely.
that was being implemented at that time. I mean, you're seeing people around you literally exploding into clouds of red and pink mist.
A lot of them angry, probably going into the battle.
Heavy with adrenaline and emotion, and so I think that there's some kind of a connection there, but what is it? I don't know. Do I think it's embodied spirits? No, I think it's a ripple in the fabric of energy is what I think it is.
Yeah.
You know?
And we have technology now that seems to confirm what was written in the Bible many years ago. It talked about demonic possession, and now we have these sort of events are being captured on video and being shared online. So it's amazing, but it's also a great confirmation that the Bible is true and that we can go to heaven after this world. God willing.
Well, you got to think about this too, and even from a scientific standpoint, energy cannot be destroyed; it can only change form.
Yeah, I was thinking that too.
Where were you before you got here in the first place? A lot of people don't even stop to think about that. They've been worried about what comes at the end. What came before the beginning? It had to be somewhere, had to be something, right? So what is my real purpose here? What was this a contract? Did I come here voluntarily and say, okay, we're going to just come here and have this experience with complete oblivion to any memory of where I came from and see how it plays out? I don't know, but it had to have come from somewhere, and it's got to go somewhere else. I think we just kind of shift frequency is all.
Yeah, if we leave the body's no longer capable of sustaining for whatever reason. The body's very fickle, I guess, or life is always on
a dream within a dream.
Yeah.
You know?
The word is inception, right?
Yeah. Yeah, so I just wanted to, I've almost forgot about this, but there's been a lot of this upward rising earth nonsense about. And this is kind of interesting. I got this clip. Run Boston Bear put this video out today. I'm going to go ahead and play it. And it was Dell and Whitsitt. Now, of course, Dell from, I guess he's no longer on the ball. No, wait, not no longer on the ball. What's this thing? Beyond the Imaginary Curve. Yeah. Okay, so he's Beyond the Imaginary Curve. And he's been pushing this upward rising earth nonsense. And this was the opportunity to discuss it with Whitsitt. So let's just check this out. And this is why Dell's hard to talk to. He really is a difficult person to talk to. One,
hard to understand.
He's hard to understand, and two, he cannot shut the fuck up. He just can't, and he's got to go right to ad hominem.
I have an idea. Since Dell is here and Whitsitt is here, why don't we have a one-on-one? If both of them agree, no interruptions, mano a mano, and let's hash this out. How about that?
Oh shit! I didn't even know Dell was here.
Like, I can talk for a few minutes. I literally came in here just for a couple minutes. So if we can expedite it, sure. I have like 20 things I'm supposed to be doing today. So we can talk about it. I have a simple question. Why is linear interferometry not detect it? Now, Doofus gave them their best answer, but believe it or not, I'm already going to destroy that as soon as someone says it. If someone doesn't say what Doofus says, they're just conceding. So sure, Dale, if the Earth is moving up, then why does linear interferometry not detect it? It's a very simple
Okay,
question.
if Bell answers, nobody, and I mean nobody, interrupt.
That was one I hadn't even considered, but linear interferometry, I didn't even know if there had been any tests based on that. But
Bell and Whitsitt.
Dal, you there?
I'm here. You hear me?
Yes.
You need to forgive me. I'm a wee bit bunged up here with the cold, so it's quite hard listening. I thought this was going to be, grown up, mature discussion, but it doesn't seem to be the case. The thing about the interferometry, I don't fully comprehend the interferometry. My main contention is that there's no downwards acceleration. It's demonstrable that there's no downwards acceleration. Accelerometers do not detect downwards acceleration. So globe Earth and stationary flat earthers have a real issue. My main contention with these things is the request of some type of force that can accelerate all matter. And this is where Whitsitt, I don't know what it is with you, Whitsitt. I don't know if there's a party that just wants to be right and misrepresent. You were mentioning the last time about individual pieces of matter. An accelerometer is not just one piece of matter. It's a relationship between matter that detects when a force is present. And a force is just simply motion. So we've got an issue because accelerometers in all their forms detect absolutely no downwards acceleration.
So a force is not necessarily motion. Because right now, sitting inert, I am forcing the air to not be where I'm at. And likewise, the air is forcing pressure against every square inch of my body. So although I am in an inert state right now, there is a force present.
Okay. So you avoided the question. You said go ahead.
This is why it's difficult to speak to people like you. The very first thing I said, was I don't fully comprehend interferometry. It's something I need to research and look into. Yeah. So
yeah, but I told you about it 2 weeks ago. So
you came on and proselytized and round off a big spiel. You weren't engaging in any discussion.
Well, if he's trying to tell you about interferometry, you don't understand interferometry, and you've had 2 weeks. And you've not even looked into the fucking interferometry. What the hell are you talking about, Del? Jesus.
Practical guy, when I'm dealing with engineering principles or anything practical, it's objective. There's no heatedness. There's no emotional, bias that doesn't ever have to get like that. It's just a simple discussion. If I'm sitting with another engineer and I'm a mechanic,
I don't have time for this, Del. You want to talk about the subject, or you want to cry about me personally? You said you don't know anything about interferometry. Okay, let me respond. I have to go. Let me respond. You said that you don't know anything about interferometry. Dude, I respect that you're not going to speak about it. Let me respond, dude. Look, I tried to be cool with you, bro. I tried to be cool with you.
Guys, dude. Conversation, son. You're irritating me already, wee man.
Okay, so I respect that you're not going to talk about it if you don't understand it. That's cool, but I brought it up to you a couple weeks ago. You just projected onto me that I'm afraid to be wrong. No, or you would have looked directly. Who's emotional again? Who's being emotional?
See, he can't shut the fuck up and just get to the topic. He's got to sit there and piss and moan and cry about, oh, you're not doing this, you're not doing that. And it's like, dude, I'm trying to explain it to you right now. I'm on a limited amount of time. Shut the fuck up and listen, right? You won't do it. You won't do it.
You guys obviously have something going on. Why don't you let me have a shot at it?
Well, how about someone that is emotionally interrupting me doesn't get to then censor my response, and then you can talk. So I'm
you right with it because you triggered someone.
Oh my god, bro! You guys are so emotional. You're like a cult. You're like FED 2.0.
That's not going to help though. That's not going to help.
But I'm trying to calmly address the subject.
All right, go ahead.
And this whole time you've heard nothing but Del freaking out in the fucking background. Right? And this is the guy people are listening to. Holy shit.
Wow.
It's antagonizing. You antagonize me.
Okay, how about this? Space Monkey, you're muted. Del, if you don't stop interrupting me, I'm going to mute you. I'm just going to say one last thing, and you guys can do whatever you want.
Let Witsit say his last statement, and then he's gonna go because he's got stuff to do. And then I want to have a chat with Dell, a nice civil chat on like what's happening right now.
Yeah, okay. Well, they're saying I'm antagonizing. He jumped in and personally ad hommed me for 3 straight minutes. So whatever. Don't interrupt me, though. So I brought up one simple question. If the Earth is moving up, why is linear interferometry not detected? I'll just jump ahead of this. Doofus gave you your best answer, which is it doesn't detect absolute motion. Stop interrupting me.
Beyond Dell. Please. Dell, I don't want to mute you, Dell. Please.
Okay. Linear interferometry, right? If the Earth is moving up, I'm asking why does it not detect it? The best answer you can say is because it's absolute motion, meaning that there's no change in velocity. That's why the interferometry doesn't detect it. Okay. The problem with that is that there is measurably a change in the rate of things falling on the Earth. You guys claim, oh, well, yeah, electrostatics or the electric field or something electromagnetic is probably doing that. Okay, whatever. What that means is that you would measure the motion of the Earth in relation to something else because things are changing. The actual rate is changing. So to marry those together, you have to acknowledge that the rate actually changes, right? So we actually have highly precise gravimetric interferometry measurements. And also you then conflate it to an accelerometer, which the accelerometers, MIMS accelerometers, for example, they use capacitance, which I told you about last time as well. They actually use the capacitance between 2 plates, and then they convert that into an electrical signal to then give you, the final reading. Okay, so it absolutely does measure it because the piezoelectric crystal inside of the MIMS accelerometer is detecting downward pressure. It's being converted into an electric signal, giving you a final output of capacitance. That's how we measure the quote-unquote 1G that they hijack. And then the final point I'm going to make is if there's a downward electric current on the Earth, which is measurable, how would that not create a downward bias? So then you would have to claim that there's a downward bias while things are also moving up, and your final output would have to account for those two. The fluctuation in it automatically debunks the claims it's absolute. So now Jeremy's going to show you that even on the basis level, that acceleration does exist. You can't ignore it. But I would encourage you to at least look into those things, right? Because I'm happy. I've tried to compliment you when people ask me, by the way. I say, I like that Dell is bold enough to think outside the box and think on his own and come up with his own ideas. I've got tons of kickback for doing the same thing. I'm not claiming to know all the answers or to be completely correct. I've defended you, okay? And I jumped on your show and you attacked me. So I'm cool to smooth it all out and to figure out what's going on together or whatever in the future. But the whole ad hom accusing me of being a shill and all that stuff's got to go. So those are the main points of contention. I have to go build an entire website, though. So I don't have time for this. I'll listen to it on Rumble or something. But if someone can come back and give me answers to those questions, I'll happily hear out the idea that the Earth is moving and we just can't actually directly detect it. We can only assume it and reify it. So
I think that pretty well fucking summed it up.
Pretty much.
Well, I think the answer is quite simple. Think of convection current. Have you ever watched the eagles or any kind of large bird play in the currents? Mm-hmm. They will literally circle as the air is warm. They will circle. It takes them up higher and higher and higher. Mm-hmm. When they hit a cooler pocket or whatever, they'll do a dive and they'll come just barreling down, straight down. And then they'll just kind of level out, hit another current, and ride it up. So yeah, the air is continuously moving as it's warmed and cooled and whatnot. So it's, I don't know, maybe my brain just don't comprehend what they're trying to say, but that's what I see.
Well, no, this is what Dell is saying, that the reason things go toward the Earth is because the Earth is moving upward.
I think that's just asinine.
But that doesn't make sense because it would have to be constantly gaining speed in order for it. Yeah. Otherwise, it would just level out and be balanced, and then we would all float, right? I mean,
yeah. Right. If we jumped, we wouldn't. If we jumped, we wouldn't land because the Earth would come right up and hit us in the bottom of the feet, right?
That's what he's saying is happening. That's what he is saying is happening.
I agree with you about the thermals. I've been saying that for years.
Yeah, I mean,
the thermals exist.
My daughter and I sat and watched a couple of eagles just playing in the air current, the thermal. It was just beautiful watching them. And they literally, like, watching military jets just do a dive, and they would just come and they would be spiraling down. And it would just be like, wow. And then they just get to a certain level and just kind of level out and start going up. And they would just doing these big, huge circles in the sky, you know, and with each circle or each spiral, they would just go higher and higher. And then they dive again. It was beautiful. So
did you see that plane crash in Brazil?
No, I didn't.
The thing just flat spinned right out of the sky. And just happened to have like 8 doctors that had discovered a cure for cancer on board. Isn't that cool?
Oh, wow. Why 8? That was just like the 8 doctors that
they'd all been working on this together, I guess. Yeah.
Childhood, you know what's to autism.
Let me see. Where was that?
It was 8 that died. That was the earlier 2000s.
That plane did a flat spin right straight down. It was unreal. Killed 61 people on board.
Wow.
Everybody.
Yeah, money will make people do evil things like that.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate. I had a quick question. Hopefully all the family of that flight found some peace. But
yeah,
I had a quick question regarding the motion of Earth or the uprising.
Yeah.
Thank you. So I'm just looking up here, hot air balloons. So it says here some of them rise 2 to 3 meters per second. So is that slower than Earth rising up?
Well, the downward acceleration is claimed to be 9.8 meters per second, but it's been recorded as high as 9.11.
Yeah.
So what we're having is it's there's a fluctuation. Okay, obviously it's so this 9.8 is an average that we get. That's one problem with it. Second problem with it is that if it's accelerating at 9.8 meters per second squared upward, and that's what's responsible, that means that it's continuously speeding up all the time. At which point, just since the first time I addressed this on YouTube, we'd be going multiple speeds times the speed of light by now, faster than we were when we first had the discussion. It's a ridiculous concept, and it's based on the fact that people are not understanding displacement. They're not understanding how an unbalanced force actually works.
Yeah, and it's appearing to be another nonsensical belief that we literally can't sense.
Right. Well, I just wanted so Dreamy could see this. I'm sure a lot of people have already seen this, but this is that plane, and some people caught it on film or on video. I mean, that's just a flat spin down. What the fuck happened?
Yeah, because
usually you see a plane goes down.
The autopilot won't allow that to happen. You guys know that, right?
What's that?
The autopilot will not allow that to happen. You guys know that, right?
Yeah,
there's an emergency thing that kicks in. Yeah, that automatically takes over the plane and stops it from crashing like that. I don't know.
Because
where they got this
don't they tend to glide if it all possible?
Well, I mean, they can go into a drop like that, but generally the plane will take over. It'll start it'll alert emergency, and it'll take over, and it'll take the plane out of that. So if it didn't do that, it means it was probably messed with, or I'm just assuming
tampered with.
Sure.
Yeah, you could put that plane in. The pilot could easily put that plane into a glide.
Yes, easily.
Yes.
Especially at that height that he was at, yeah.
What would cause
maybe he wasn't, or maybe they all passed out or something. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I think it's Occam's razor. There's fuckery involved. Okay, that's all there is to it. There is fuckery involved.
I think there's always fuckery involved.
And there's no getting around that. No getting around that.
Was it a single engine or?
No, a twin engine.
Twin engine, so both
twin engine prop plane too. I believe it was a prop plane. Yeah,
well, a prop plane.
I've seen some photographs of the pilot standing next to the plane, but yeah, it was a twin engine. It wasn't like a huge jetliner. It was
it like a DC-10 or something?
I'm trying to see if there's any more on that.
The DC-10 is like an average size, medium size, like airplane that has twin props on it. Yeah.
Let me see. No, this was a little. I don't even think this was as big as a DC-10. Let me see. Brazil.
We call them puddle jumpers.
There we go. Brazil plane crash. Oh, they have an explanation for it now too. Apparently,
Presumably, they should be able to
Well, they
fly
have
with
to
even
have
one engine,
deniable
right?
plausibility.
I want to hear
Let's
this
see.
explanation. It's got to be good.
So real quick, I'm going to show you the type of plane that this thing was. All right. Let me present this. Here we go.
Amazing for people trying to end cancer.
That's the type of plane. And it's called a let's see. It's all in Spanish, so I don't know what the model is called.
Are the wings over the top of the plane or underneath? I can't tell.
Over top. It's above wing, above fuselage.
That's a weird looking one.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen one of them before.
So that's what that is. And then if we go up here, let's see. I saw the first thing. Let me bring this up. It says, what caused the plane to fall from the sky in Brazil? Brazil investigators on Saturday began analyzing the black boxes from the Sao Paulo bound flight to try and understand why the passenger plane fell from 17,000 feet on Friday. That's not very high. In a crash that killed 62 people on board. But to aviation experts around the world who watched the video showing the 89-foot plane spinning slowly as it plummeted before crashing almost directly on its belly, the question of what had happened was simple to answer. The plane had stalled. That doesn't make sense.
That don't make sense. When you stall a plane, you do a dive. I know that. My dad and his friends were pilots. It goes into a dive when you
They
stall.
lost the lift needed to keep it flying up. The question of why flight 2283 might have stalled, however, remained a mystery. Yeah, but still they don't put that doesn't happen when you can take it into a glide. A stall usually happens when you've started to go too steep without enough power, and then what happens is you lose your ability to lift, and the plane does that. If you've ever played with those little balsa wood aircraft, if you've ever noticed where they fly along like this and then do this, they keep dropping and then rising up because they keep reaching a stall point and they drop and then picked up lift again.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. The main
We got to play in a Cessna. It wasn't a plane that big, but they were doing that stalling. I loved it. I wanted to stay up there and do it some more, but I had to share the plane. Dang it. I was only like 13, 14. And yeah, when they stall it, it just goes to a nosedive and then it goes back up and then they'll stall it and it'll do the same thing. It's really awesome. It's a great feeling to feel that free falling feeling. But yeah, that was, I don't know.
Working to extract the information from them. See, this just doesn't make sense to me. This is crazy. Nobody on the ground was injured, thank God. There's 58 passengers and 4 crew members, is what it says. So that's 62. They said 61. That's 62. 58 passengers and 4 crew members is 62.
They can't count. They'll just say
they made a mistake.
It was a typo.
Remember, math doesn't lie.
It wasn't me. It wasn't me.
Happened because of ice. Wait a second. Ice at 17,000 feet.
Okay.
Brazilian officials warning about the potential for severe icing where the plane was flying when it crashed. Of course, it is winter time down there too. That's true. And shortly before the disaster, a different passenger plane had experienced such icing nearby. Its pilot told the Brazilian news channel Globo.
Globo.
This might sound crazy. I was actually on a flight from Canada to New Mexico, and I was sitting at the wing, and this was at post 9/11. So midway during the flight, I had this urge just to look out my window, and I glanced and it looked like there was a black missile literally following off to the wing. And this is before I had like high definition cameras. It was like the flip phone era. So, but I was so in shock. I remember, I think I gasped. So I'm pretty sure the people in front and behind me saw it, but I remember it was gone before I noticed. Could remember where it went, but do you guys think that's even possible? Do you think they would have sent up missiles to practice tracking airplanes, or I don't know, because I don't think I would have hallucinated.
It wouldn't surprise me. There's all kinds of things. I
Right?
sit at night
That thing went to
sometimes
shit.
and
Look
watch
at that.
crazy things go on in the sky. So, yeah,
Oh yeah, U.S. military.
believe your own eyes. You know.
Welcome
Yeah,
back,
I remember seeing
Daybreakers. The
stickers
two
on it.
black boxes, the cockpit voice recorder and the flight data recorder, have now been recovered from the turboprop plane that crashed in Brazil, killing everyone on board. Chilling videos show the passenger plane in a free fall from the sky. ABC's Allison Cossack reports.
This is the horrific moment a plane carrying 61 passengers and crew plummeted to the ground in Brazil, killing everyone on board.
Meu Deus, meu Deus, meu Deus, meu Deus.
The two-engine turboprop from local airline Voapass spinning out of control and crashing into a residential neighborhood. Witnesses horrified. This man emotional, saying he was running late and missed the flight. Now grateful to the airport worker who wouldn't let him board. The flight taking off from Cascavel
Wow.
in the Brazilian state of Paraná, bound for the airport in Sao Paulo. Shortly before it was scheduled to come in for a landing, the plane dropping 17,000 feet in just 1 minute.
Usually this sort of thing occurs because the flight crew was not able to maintain or did not maintain enough airspeed. Clearly it was stall spin. How they got into it is what we don't know.
The fiery wreckage, large parts of the plane smoldering in a residential neighborhood, debris littering yards. One person on the ground was injured. Brazilian aviation officials say the aircraft did not communicate any emergency on board. The focus is on examining those black boxes, the cockpit voice recorder and flight data recorder, which will be crucial in the investigation. Allison Cossack, ABC News, New York.
And at this time, there is still no confirmation of what led up to that incident.
Maybe it was some
I bet
kind
you
of
I know what it
parts
was.
failure.
Do what
I
now?
bet you they were towing. I bet you they were towing some airplane along somewhere, and it
We have
broke
some
off
breaking
and
news
it
for you from
crashed, and they
Brazil.
decided to blame it on a plane crash.
See, this is crazy too. I want to see if I can find something about these passengers too.
Maybe they were relying on the Coriolis effect. and they
That's
fell
what it
short.
was. They were accounting for curvature.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Why
there's
did they ever-
also, mechanic and engineering stuff that can go wrong too. I mean, everybody's been driving a car, right, and have a breakdown on the road, and you have to, get it to the side of the road or whatever. So, I
Mhm.
mean, I don't just automatically assume everything we see or whatever is just some kind of hoax. I mean, you question it based on what people say, but to actually see it, and know that, planes do crash.
Check. Here's some dope on it.
Yo, this one is wild. Check this out. So on August 9th, a plane crash in Brazil happens, but there's a ton of eerie facts that's linked with this. For one, a handful of those victims were actually doctors, not just any doctors. They were oncologists, which is the study of cancer. They were making their way from Cascavel, Brazil to Sao Paulo to attend a conference. Now, which conference would that be? Would you look at that? So the SBTMO conference is a society of bone marrow transplant and cellular therapy. In short, this conference sets a standard in what's real and what's fake when it comes to cancer treatments and cures. Interesting. But wait, hold up. In this statement by the conference, they said out of the 62 victims, 15 of those passengers were doctors. But in the latest report, it says 8 cancer doctors perished and the 7 other passengers changed their flight last minute. So that's not weird. Oh, but it gets even weirder. Among the other victims, a lawyer who specializes in none other than lawsuits against airlines. I mean, the more and more you look into this, you guys, the cards in the conspiracy deck just get stacked higher. And then there's this guy along with 9
You
other
still believe it
passengers
now?
who was supposed to be on this flight but actually missed it. Now, they say he was caught on camera embracing the airline staff who prevented him from boarding. You guys know when they close that door, they can't open it again. You just got to catch the next flight. This definitely gives me Final Destination vibes. You guys remember this old movie where all these people were supposed to be on the plane, but then they missed it and then the plane blew up? Now, the Brazilian brand Via Pass was the airline, and the type of plane was an ATR-72, which is produced in France and Italy by the manufacturer ATR, which is 50% owned by Airbus and not Boeing this time. But I would look into the manufacturer ATR on this one. But what do you guys think about all this? Coincidence? Let me know below.
I don't know, man. Sounds like an awful lot of coincidence to me.
Well, it's like that airplane. It's like that big commercial airplane crash in 1989 there in Michigan, when all those trauma doctors lost their lives because that plane crashed. Do you think that was staged, set up on purpose? Okay.
That's right. And Eddie Banjo's
Not everything in life is on purpose.
That plane was all across the Middle Belt Road, man. I remember that. I lived up there when that happened.
Yeah, that's the doctor that was supposed to be on it that saved my best friend's life was supposed to be on that flight. And he's the only trauma doctor that didn't get on that flight and go to the convention he was headed to. There was 6 of them that were supposed to be on that flight, or 8, something like that.
So what's the moral to the story is that if you have any workable free energy, a cure for cancer, or any dirt on the Clintons, do not fly on an airplane. Okay? Do not
one that's owned by Boeing or whatever that other one.
Right. These are just little things we learn through patterns. Like if you ever go to war, do not show a picture of your sweetheart back home, or you're going to be the next one killed. That's always what happens in the movies, right? Hey, here's my sweetheart back home. Then the next scene, you see him dead with his crumpled up picture in his bloody hand, right? Don't ever show a picture of your sweetheart back home. It's just how that rolls. Okay.
And don't go downstairs.
If you're in a horror movie, don't have sex. You'll get killed every time.
Be happy. Don't, be one to kill yourself.
Right. And if you hear, chai, 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 chai in the weeds, get the fuck out of there. Sinister music is a good dead giveaway as well.
He's saying chop, chop. It's chop, chop.
Yeah. That's crazy, man. That's crazy. So, yeah, I mean, there's just psyops within psyops. Oh, look, Trump got shot. Nobody's talking about it no more. There's some fringe people out there going, like there's still an investigation and all that, and they're looking into it and all this other shit. Nothing's going to come about from it, right? Nothing's going to come about from it. They're just going to, oh, well, that happened. Now we're on to bigger and better things. Look, this guy drinks horse semen. It's like, what the fuck, man? Come on.
No big deal, though.
Did he have any flavor to it?
Stop jamming me. You know that Tom Petty song, Stop Jamming Me? That's what it reminds me. It's just they want to jam all this dumb shit into your fucking head all the time.
Imagine if we all just stopped all together, not paying attention to them at all and giving them any attention.
Great
Absolutely none.
I've already done that. I don't. You guys are the ones that bring it on the channel.
Yeah, I only hear stuff through other people. I do not go seek it out or anything. I do hear,
not to say there's anything wrong with that, but
right, word of mouth still travels.
What's up with what are you guys thinking about this? So now chemtrails are not a conspiracy theory anymore because we have states that are trying to ban it. So
probably because we figured it out they were using it.
Yeah. But what is it for, really? I mean, what is the
It's to track the weather, of course. That's what they'll say. They won't say control the weather. They'll say
yeah. Well,
I think it's been used for multiple things. And I have been watching this one YouTube channel, Boss of the Swamp, for years. And the woods up there in New Hampshire, the trees were just dying around him. And he started pointing it out. And this is stuff from, this supposed, global warming crap, right?
Mhm.
and weather modifications, but it's not. I think a lot of it was to dump chemicals they couldn't get rid of. So what's better way to do is disperse it in the air so it kind of floats and goes wherever, right?
It gets diluted really good that way.
That's
See?
what it's used for more than anything.
Yeah, I can just imagine them in the boardroom, laughing. They're like, at least we're not dumb enough to dump it in the water like our uncles.
Like we did that other shit.
Well, I know that Victoria, Austria, or Australia rather, has just approved the use of aerosol vaccination.
Luca's going to get his dose.
Well, yeah, because we all breathe, right?
He needs, right? Another dose.
I'm sure the creator knew of all their attempts. So with the placebo, I believe you can protect yourself.
Sure. I think that it's a lot of it we projected onto ourselves too. I think people that actually started getting really sick during the COVID, I think a lot of that was psychosomatic as well.
Yeah, the nocebo effect.
Yeah, they're
Why do you think nobody went to the hospital?
at you. Oh, you're
They were
gonna die.
afraid.
There's germs everywhere. You be careful. Wear your mask. All this other fucking shit. And people say, yeah, it's the power of suggestion. It's very, very powerful. The power of suggestion.
Absolutely.
realize it.
The subconscious, when you give it keywords, supposedly, I've heard this from people who study the brain. They say that keywords generally will have someone's subconscious direct them through the world. So if their
Sure.
keyword is not this, it's let's say if, not classical. If I type that in Google, it's still going to pull up classical because the keyword is there. So
Right.
what we have to do is be mindful of our keywords.
The
And
subconscious doesn't understand the negatives.
And you're
Yeah,
hypnotized
exactly.
by the
Just-
TV, and then boom, they get.
Yep, it only
keywords
understands
in
the keywords. That's exactly right. You're 100% right, man. 100%.
Yeah.
But this is listen, this guy's got to say about the fucking chemtrail, contrail, weather modification. It might have the preamble to this said that it said perhaps clouds aren't what we were taught. Perhaps there is another reason for chemtrails. All right.
This morning, so
Well, they
this
definitely aren't what
morning I
Cameron
was
thinks.
on. This morning I was on Trucking with Callahan, and it was super weird. The sky was like this bismal pink, bright pink color.
Wow.
And he said that the air just felt really weird. He just had this strange feeling. But I mean, it was because of that storm there going through Nebraska and stuff. Have you ever seen a completely, like fogged in pinks?
No,
Pink
maybe they
sky?
I have.
maybe they
I got
spray
videos.
It
pepper-
was crazy.
Maybe they
I
spray
got a
pepper
rainbow in it.
buddy. Take care of
Oh,
your
wow.
indigestion.
No, there was a fire here locally, is what it was. There was a fire up north, and it was a big fire, and the cloud of
Kansas?
dust that flew. No, over here in California. This was a few years ago, but I
Oh.
have lots of videos of the sky being completely pink, just like that, and
Well,
it would
yes.
it would confuse the camera. The camera would get confused and keep switching like the different lighting types to try to figure out what's wrong with it, because it was like trying to focus on it, and it would
Right.
like get really, really dark red when you look straight up, and it would get like blue at the horizon. It was really weird.
Right.
But
And see,
in
I
the
live in
camera, it just looked
Washington,
purple.
so we deal with them fires as well annually, right? But yeah, well, as far as I know, there was no fires over there. I don't know for a fact.
Well, what do you think
They
it
were
was from?
having. I don't know. It just kind of like was just crazy. I'd never seen anything like it. Of just. I mean, it looked kind of foggy, hazy out, but it was all pink.
No,
And
I've
I
not
just never
tried it,
seen
Valley
nothing
Parks.
like
Have you
that.
tried it? Have you tried
So-
it, Valley Parks? I have not. I've seen some videos on it, but I don't know.
Vinegar experiment? What's that?
Vinegar trick where you can bust up clouds by boiling vinegar or something. I don't know. We'll have to try it sometime.
Oh,
guy
yeah,
seems
yeah, I
to
have
think
heard something.
Clouds might be something different, though. Let's see.
The clouds are not what we have been told. I filmed this not more than an hour ago. And if you don't see what I'm about to point out, believe me, you will. But let me just point out this giant dragon head down to an eye and even lips and nostrils. And here it is again, just with filtering a little bit of the color, but literally an eyeball down to lips and nostrils. And like I said, if you can't see it, I just can't help you. But this video gets even crazier. Stick around because I promise you, you're going to learn something here. What happened next when I was filming blew my mind a little bit because there was not a cloud or one of these in the entire sky as far as the eye could see. And not more than 20 seconds after I started filming this, out of absolutely nowhere, one of these started crossing the sky. Almost to the point where it looked like someone was taking chalk and just trying to cross it out so I couldn't see the beautiful dragon. Now, I don't know about you, but I am way past the point of thinking that when you see things in the clouds that it's just pareidolia, because I have captured way too many things to make me know better. Literally captured this not more than a month ago. And if you can't see this, well, then maybe putting it next to a side-by-side of Falcor from the Never-Ending Story. Again, eyes, tongue, and mouth. It's undeniable to me that this is more than pareidolia. And that clouds are more than what we've been told. Especially when you ask Google what clouds are.
I see stuff like that too.
The very first two places it takes you are the Smithsonian and NASA. I mean, if that isn't a dead giveaway that there's something more going on, I don't know what is. Let's see what they tell kids at a young age. Clouds are created when water vapor and invisible gas turns into liquid water droplets. Cool. Now, I don't claim to know exactly what clouds are, but I know what they're not. And what I think they are is a few different things, potentially. One, maybe there's something spiritual. Two, maybe there are literal giant dragons outside the firmament, and this is showing just some sort of reflection of them, or even vapor from their outside presence in the firmament. Or maybe we're literally just living in God's simulated reality, and these are being projected up there from the projector at the center of the North Pole, where we're suspiciously not allowed to go. But like I said, the one thing I know is whatever they're telling us probably isn't the truth. So I encourage you greatly to keep seeking truth and don't just buy what they shovel you right in front of your face, because more than likely they're trying to cover something up. And if you guys want to see a whole lot more dragons in clouds, go follow my friend Girl That Sees Dragons, because she does almost exclusively these types of videos and she's awesome. And I'm working on something big, something real big.
Well, I could hardly wait.
He just might happen to be these days. But I'm going to only release it to my subscribers for the moment. So if you have an interest in finding out where good old Heath Ledger went, hit the subscribe button.
Can you go up into the clouds?
Support me so I can keep bringing you
maybe
on a daily basis.
You can go anywhere.
Look at it as an investment.
Okay, so I think this guy's like completely full of shit.
Yeah. Just a little bit.
Yeah.
Sideman Dan likes
a little
to do his videos all the time, dude. He goes in and just debunks his videos or tries to on a regular.
Well, that's low hanging fruit. Holy shit, I could do that.
Yeah, I would say, yeah.
Yeah, let's Sideman Dan. What do you expect? Come on.
Sideman Dan. That guy.
Psyop.
I tell you what, that dude.
Psyop.
I can send that dude is a gerbil stuffer. I can guarantee it. I can guarantee you that guy is into doing unnatural things with rodents. I can guarantee it.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Oh, bro.
I mean, I'll say it. Fuck it. I don't care.
Hey,
Well, I just know that sometimes when they checkerboard our skies over here, within a day or a few days, the Midwest getting hit with some really crazy storms, tornadoes and what have you, and it happens every time. But yeah, they'll crisscross them. They'll make all these X's and grids and all kinds of stuff. Sometimes so heavy here. If it's early enough in the morning when the sun is just coming up, it looks like it's not rain. This looks like glitter falling out of the sky, a really fine glitter. It's crazy.
Well, here's the thing here. A guy certain citizen said, did you know that the state of Tennessee has recently just banned the practice of geoengineering and the spraying of aerosols over the sky? And it's posted with a time lapse of this. I thought this was kind of interesting.
But the thing is they can ban it.
The radical trans. of our sky as a direct result of aircraft activity. Aircraft are now repeated dispersing materials into the upper atmosphere at light altitude. Light altitude. These materials expand rather than evaporate. They usually transform into an unsightful haze. The radical
Look at that. When
transformation
you
of our
sped
sky
up,
is a direct result of air.
look at that as it sped up, man. How that just drops. I mean, that's just ice formed from the
Yeah,
from
it's
a
just ice
plane.
crystals, man. Don't
Get
worry
the
about it.
fuck
Yeah, it
outta
is.
here.
No. Move on. Yeah, speaking of rainbows,
Moving
the
on.
picture I got on my avatar, actually, it was a rainbow we had this afternoon. It's a double rainbow. You gotta look at it. I caught it
Oh,
outside the
wow.
parking lot.
I got
And
some
you'll
videos
notice
on my.
the top one, the colors are inverted.
Yep. Like a mirror.
Because it's a reflection.
Yeah.
It's definitely a reflection. Oh man. The hell. Wow. So this Burger King employee is roughing up a kid and made him fucking clean up the sloppy mess he left. This can't be in America. This can't be. Really?
That should happen more often, dude.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. I've seen a lot of
And
kids.
they didn't get arrested or shot? Or, really?
I don't know. This is.
Wow. Slaps. That's cool. Dude, if he would have gave me a broom, I would
Sounds
have
like Russia.
hit with it, bro. I would have hit him with the broom, bro.
There you go. Now you can go, kid. Now it's your turn, kid. Get up. Yeah. Oh, he's making all of them do it. Little fucker's got a crown on too. Who does that?
You better way. Hey, I would do it.
He's a
I mean,
bedwetter.
I don't think it's right. I don't think it's
Yeah,
right.
that kid's a
but kids need to
bedwetter.
learn respect, dude. They need to learn respect, though.
I was just here minding my business. I wasn't in on it, sir.
But you're gonna clean it up anyway.
Wow. Look at that, man. He smashed that kid's head into the counter, man.
Hey, man, you know.
Yeah, I guarantee you that guy's probably not got a job no more, though. You know, I don't know if it was here in the United States.
If I got my hands on him, he'd be in trouble. Trust me.
He probably got a promotion. Come on, that's what's been happening lately. The worse of an employee you are, the higher you climb on the status ladder.
Yeah, that kid. No, like he wasn't in the BK Kids Club, and the one with the clown on, he got kicked out. He's done. He's over. That guy.
He didn't get an employee of the month again.
No picture.
Oh
on
my
the
God!
wall.
Now we've got feds showing up at people's houses over Facebook posts.
Yeah, I know.
Holy crap!
Dude, you know it. Come on.
I better be careful.
Yeah, and why are these people showing up? Because the feds were already questioned in Congress and asked why they were doing these things whenever it's against the law and they know it and all this other stuff. And they couldn't say anything because it's still under investigation. This is just a bunch of monkeys playing golf with everybody's life because it doesn't matter. You know, the House of Representatives have no power over any other business. The Congress has no authority over anybody. It's just a big shit show.
Well,
for years, nothing happens ever.
And this is what cracks me up is people think that this can be fixed. They're like picking out a shade of paint for a barn that is a smoldering pile of rubble.
Yeah, it's already burnt down. There's nothing left.
You're not gonna fix it with paint. Okay, that's just not. You have to clear away this rubble.
Hey,
and you have
I
to
know
build a new fucking barn. That's all there is to it.
You're
There's no.
dehydrated water.
Well, I can't come over and tell you how to run your business. No more you can come tell me how to run my business, right?
That's right.
If you're an employee of Taco Bell, you can't go to Walmart and say, I insist on a paycheck. You aren't under their policy. They have all this bullshit going on and people just can't see it. Just sometimes it just gets that's why I have to walk away from it sometimes. So it's so
Well,
annoying.
here's the best thing
So many
is
can't
you got to
see it.
look at it like this. All you can do is make people aware. Getting
I've
upset
been
about it's
trying.
not going to change because you can't do fucking shit about it.
Well, I know
Okay?
that's why I say sometimes I have to walk away because
Yeah.
I've been speaking about this stuff and trying to show people and tell
Well,
them
hey,
since I was in my team.
for every 20 people you talk to, one may listen. Okay.
Yeah,
But
well, it's
everyone that one talks to, it's the same thing. And everyone
Right.
that one talks to. So that's how it works, man.
That's true.
Consensus does not drive truth. Truth is not derived through consensus. Truth
No.
is self-evident.
Right.
And someone won't
It
get it
travels
because
much
you can't
slower
fix
to
it.
it.
Right.
It travels slower
So-
because it takes people
so-
longer to take it.
Well, right, but what I'm saying is, you know, all the talking about it, trying to tell people or whatever, and then all you get is backlash.
Yeah,
you
I don't
know,
care. Let them backlash.
That's
Let
why
them
doing something
fucking
is the best thing to
backlash.
do.
Who cares?
The name
Who
calling,
cares?
those kind of things.
Who
Why
cares?
put yourself in such a negative
Who
environment? Is what I'm
cares?
saying.
Why would that affect
Time you have to.
that can
Oh,
only
yeah.
affect you? Listen to me. That can only affect you if you allow it to.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Oh.
expect it from them. You have to expect it from them. You know, they're victims themselves from Satan, really.
And you're
They're
going to
just-
get it from the weak-minded.
Yeah. We
So
have to
consider
expect
the
that
source.
they've been abused basically their whole life, and they
Right.
haven't learned how to
But
how
the
to
thing
heal
is
from that.
sometimes we must take care and step out of that so that we maintain our positive energy and not be sucked down the toilet with the rest of the turds.
Yeah,
Well,
and
that's an easy choice on your own part, though. See?
Right,
That's
exactly.
an easy
That-
choice.
Well, that's what I'm saying, though. Sometimes I just have to check out because
Listen, I get notifications, on my YouTube. Glober Mom mentioned you in a video. I don't fucking care. Sean Hawkins mentioned you in a video. I don't fucking care. I don't even watch it. I don't fucking care. I don't even respond to it because I don't fucking care.
Right.
You see, I don't let it bother me, any of that. I don't give a shit. I just
don't
go,
take it
okay,
personal.
well, yeah, I don't care. And
I'm
sitting
not
here
taking
saying
it
to get
personal,
angry-
so
and
don't
for me to get
misunderstand
angry-
what I meant by whenever I have to step back
Oh
sometimes.
no!
Because you
I'm
ha-
addressing
it-
everybody. I'm addressing everybody. You got to keep your emotions out of it. Yeah, it's a terrible
Right.
thing to see happening, the destruction of Western civilization right before our very eyes. But here's the thing: all you can do, basically, the biggest power you have, is just to report on it outside and to be not compliant to it. That's all
Right.
you can do. Other than that, the rest of it's out of your fucking hands. You can't do shit about it. That's like being scared that a fall, like those people in the crashing airplane, right? It's inevitable what's going to happen.
Right.
Panicking and
Completely
trying to
beyond their
figure out a
control.
way out of it. It's over. It's done right there. So
Right.
best you can do is just enjoy the ride down. In
And
all
then
reality,
reach out to
let it-
God.
yeah, exactly. And if you fear death, well, then you don't really know what this is.
I'm not
Where
afraid
will
of
I
death,
best?
as you well know.
Well, it's
That's
natural
the
to
thing.
fear death,
You're
but-
taking this whole fucking thing way too serious.
I'm not saying that I'm taking it too serious, but I'm just saying sometimes you just have to step out of that because it is such a negative environment, if you know what I
Yeah,
mean. If
Jesus
you don't
did the
step
same.
out, you hold.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Go ahead. Sorry.
If you don't step out of it, it's just like all the rest of the brainwashing. The more you participate, the more you become brainwashed with them, right? So you must separate yourself so that you can re-energize. I'm not saying give up on these people that are still seriously brainwashed and, propagandized or whatever kind of word you want to use. But sometimes it's hard to understand why they can't see it, at times, even though so many people now especially are talking about the deceptions going on right in front of their faces. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Well,
we
that's
need
that's the whole thing,
positive.
and the way I look at it, I don't let it get to me at all because of the fact that I sit here and I watch it and I find it in a way, and you could say it's kind of sick, but in a way, I'm fascinated by the level of brainwashing and the propaganda used to administer that brainwashing, and I watch how people respond to it. I dissect it daily. I watch it all the time. I see it happening in all aspects of life, and it's like I'm the one asking the questions. I ask questions. Why?
Well, maybe that's what's different.
Why?
What sets us apart? We dissect this crap.
Mm-hmm. So I sit back and I laugh my ass off because it's like, watch, the puppet master is going to do this and the people are going to do this. Watch what happens. The
Right.
puppet master does what I said, and the next thing I see is the people reacting exactly how they were prescribed to, and they get help. They get help by these influencers that come out and bring the issues to them with a biased side so that they've got some shit to argue and fight about, right? When in all reality, it's like, let's suppose Donald Trump had been assassinated. Okay? It's terrible that anybody ever gets killed, but would it affect my fucking life at all? Nope. Not a bit. Is it going to matter who they put to polish the seat in the Oval Office in a fucking Pennsylvania Avenue? Nope.
Nope.
Not a fucking bit. Not a bit. Why? Because I know where the true problem is at, and he has no control over it.
Exactly.
Okay.
Completely
So
agree.
you can spit, cuss, and cheer, and feel like you're participating and you have a say in it all the fuck you want to, but it's pretend. Okay, because you don't have a fucking say in it. There is no left, there is no right, there's only us and them. And the quicker people realize that and stop fighting with each other over stupid shit.
Yep. Amen, brother.
That's the way and this is what this whole thing is designed, is to take the pressure off of them and to put it onto each other. It's called playing both ends against the middle.
Mm-hmm. Lighting the candle at both ends. Yep.
Yes.
I agree. Yeah, I see it happen every 4 years. Dude.
It
Regardless.
pisses me off, dude.
Every
And I
4
say
years,
something
it happens
everybody gets
daily.
mad at me because I won't shut up during TV time. It's like, well, because this is obviously just a fucking, it's obviously they're putting that in your head. Like, don't believe it.
Yeah. And that's the thing. And that's interesting, Maurice, that you bring that up. They live, we sleep, because what was the primary instrument used to make everybody in that spell? It was the fucking TV signals, man.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And what are they doing with it now? It's all frequency based. Everybody's watching what happens on the screen. Look at the last 4 years. They showed you disaster, doom and gloom on the TV. But when you went out into the reality, did you see any of that actually happening? Fuck no. But the people still believed it despite it not matching their reality.
Exactly right.
Yep.
Now, you've got to be heavily fucking sedated to go through that and still not say, wait, this is fucking stupid. There's something not right here.
Hypnotized and programmed.
Yeah. It's like they want to believe this crazy shit's happening. They want it to be true. Even though they say, oh, it's terrible. This is terrible. And you say, yeah, but it's not real. Yes, it is. Don't tell me that. That's hate speech. Like, what the fuck, man? YouTube shut you down for telling people that shit ain't real. Oh, don't tell the people that. It's dangerous. Dangerous to who?
I can't believe anybody ever believed it was real. I've always known it's just a big stage. I mean, Shakespeare says it best. All the world's a stage, and all the men and women are merely players.
Mhm.
They have their exits and their entrances. Think about it. That's all it is. A big play.
Absolutely. Well, it's apparently these are people going around, feds going and asking people about Facebook posts.
Did y'all see where the FBI showed up at this
Well,
girl's
first of all,
house
I
over
wouldn't
some posts she made on Facebook?
We just move in front of the house so the dogs don't go crazy. I need you to identify yourself and let me take imagery of your IDs.
I'm not gonna share my credentials.
So you said you were with the FBI, and why won't you show me your credentials? I didn't really take a look at them. I said, 1 second, I'll be right back. Are you going to show me your credentials or no?
Yeah, we did already. So, and we
Yeah, warrant.
ourselves. So what we'd like to do.
I didn't look at your credentials. Again, I didn't verify them. I told you to wait, and I went inside.
That's correct. what we'd like to do is just have a conversation with you about some social media posts.
I'm not having a conversation with you.
No, I would not.
I'd be like, wait a minute, you're from the government? No, I don't want to have a fucking conversation with you about nothing. Get off my
You don't
fucking
have a
porch.
warrant? Get the fuck out of here.
Get off my
Yeah.
porch.
Would like you
No
to
warrant? Okay.
later talk on with my lawyer. Do you have identification cards? No, no. I'll get back to you. What's
Well,
the
they're not
number?
interested in you talking to your
What
lawyer.
are the
No,
names
they
of
wouldn't
the
talk to you
agents?
before that.
So you're refusing to identify
They can talk to
yourselves.
you in
Again, I did not
including
take
you.
a look.
So the phone number for the FBI in Oklahoma City is 405-290-7770.
Okay. And tell him that
I'll
Facebook
call that
flagged me
number.
for posts. Okay. So we no longer live in a free country and we can't say what we want. Well, you can't arrest me for freedom of speech. We live in America. Exactly. So it's kind of weird that you want to come talk to me about me exercising my freedom of speech. Okay. So do you have a conversation
I like the way
with
she held her
everybody
ground.
on the neighborhood? I mean, all I've done
I
is
wouldn't have given
exercise
him
my right as an American citizen on a public social media platform with my personal opinions. Correct? Okay. Most of the individuals, right, in America, especially older generation, right, have Facebook. Are you questioning all the citizens in America? Okay, so you have concerns about my personal opinions? I'm definitely not going to have a talk with you. Okay, there's so-called FBI.
You've already said.
This is Rola Abdel Jawad in Stillwater, Oklahoma. This is America.
I mean, that's pretty bad. They're coming up there, but they knew they was wrong. They knew they was wrong because they did not want to fucking identify.
Right.
You, if you're a
They're just
big
trying
proud
to-
FBI
they're
agent,
trying
you
to
should
get you to
you
say
want-
something bad so they can arrest you.
Right,
That's what they're
right,
doing.
right.
They're scamming.
Here's
you.
what happened. Here's what you do. I'm going to tell you exactly how you handle it. They come to your door, you open it, and they say, "Hi, I'm such and such with the FBI," and you can say, "Cool, congratulations," and shut the door.
Forget
There are quite a few lawyers right now all speaking about that. When the police or anybody comes knocking at your door, you do not have to answer it. Once you open that door, they take that as an invitation that they can come in. That's why
Y'all see where the FBI showed?
Yeah, I ain't going to put up with that fucking shit.
They shove their foot in the door.
Yeah, no, not coming out. Don't need to talk to you.
No, just don't answer.
You know, oh, hello, sir. I'm Agent Smith with the and I'm with the FBI. Well, congratulations. Good for you. Close the door. Bye. That's it. I don't have any reason to fucking talk to you about anything. If you're doing an investigation, I'm not going to help you with it because I find you to be a detestable, corrupt organization. Okay. If you're here to talk to me about something you think that I may or may not have done, then I am going to invoke my Fifth Amendment right. Okay. So where we stand now? Where do we stand? You have no other recourse other than to try to administer violence upon me, and I will respond accordingly. So the older I get, the less worried about a life sentence I am.
That's
Well,
right.
see, have you ever noticed
You don't
that
want to be that one guy that tips those scales. You don't want to be that guy.
You ever notice big estates always have the big gates in the front that are locked and latched and whatnot, and keypads?
For good reason.
There's a reason for that, because they cannot pass through. There's no open to the public access, where everybody else just has a sidewalk that goes right up to their front door, right, and their front porch, a driveway. And there's no fence. There's no fence that says keep out. So that's an invitation to the public. I just recently learned some of this, not all of it. I knew that if you have fenced in property, it's all keep out. People in the country do that as well. You know, they have gates. They drive in. Well, they can't go through a gate. It's private property.
Right.
And
well, you can achieve the same thing with a sign.
Right.
No
but in
trespassing
California,
beyond this point.
Right. Look in California, especially around Hollywood.
Oh,
all those mansions and what have you have gated. They're
Mm-hmm.
completely fenced in and they're gated. That's what protects them. They know this. but the average person doesn't. Plus, there's also city and town ordinances in some places that say you can't have a fence blocking public access.
How are they coming along with their getting rid of their homeless camps? I've been still trying to find out what the fuck they're doing with the people.
People are just going deeper and deeper into the woods. Florida, they're just going deeper and deeper into the Everglades. They were that storm that just went through there flooded a bunch of them out. So between the disease and death and everything else, it's just genocide, I think. Just shove them.
I figured they might be taking them off to fucking FEMA camps. Who the hell would know?
Yeah, what happened to all those ones that they picked up during the Jade Helm exercises, Jade Helm 15? What happened to all those homeless people in California and Florida and everything?
Well, that's what I'm wondering. What are they doing with them in California? California's weeding out, cleaning up. Newsom said to get rid of all the homeless encampments. So they're going through and destroying all these homeless camps. And no mention as to, the people have to go somewhere.
Right.
So
they're making it illegal to be homeless in Florida as well.
They go to the city because it's convenient. There's lots of businesses. There's lots of people to beg money from. I mean, that's why they go there. They don't go to big cities because there's nothing there for them. They go there because there's food. There's always trash that they can eat out of and all that. I mean, think about it.
Right.
The city runs 24 hours as people walk around. You can bum money off them. Think about it.
Taking them to Tijuana.
Small town, everybody shuts everything off. At the end of the day, they don't leave their doors open in their business.
But there are doctors, there's nurses, there's CEOs of businesses and companies out there that are homeless now.
Mm-hmm.
Remember when all our businesses went overseas during the trade crap?
They're trying to introduce a whole society of serfdom. Okay, this whole you'll own nothing. Here's the way they can implement it. Your constitution be damned. Have you ever lived in a homeowners association or an apartment complex?
No, but I'll
they have certain guidelines, but they have certain guidelines you have to adhere to, right? Or you can't live there. Well, that's what they're going to do with this. You got BlackRock and these companies are buying up all the housing and everything else like that. They're going to start having a nation of renters. And if you wish to rent from this company, you have to abide by, whatever they say. Like, you can't be putting out any negative Facebook posts that we deem hate, or you are not allowed to own a firearm or whatever else. See? And then it doesn't matter about your constitution because they're enforcing it under private property rules. You see? Oh, there's Roger. You got to stop doing that, Roger. You're freaking me out, man. And so this old guy here was pretty outspoken.
Why don't we just pair up?
I'm not into touching, okay? I'm not. Let me put that out front. I'm no touching.
I was paired up with Isaac. He was like, no touching. I was like, oh, this is gonna be fun. So the music will start, the boys will turn around, and then we start walking. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 3, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's look at the gentleman. Gentlemen, you guys can acknowledge us. Ooh, who is this?
Oh, I'm sorry. I can't do this. I'm sorry. I'm a man of God. I can't do this.
Oh, no.
I love those people. I pray for them. I would never do anything to hurt them or condemn them. But men are not supposed to dress like women. I'm not going to go along with that. It's time to stand up and be a man of God.
Why don't we just pair up?
I'm not.
Amen. I agree with you.
I believe I'm down with it.
If people did that, you would have less of that. Yeah, we'd have less of that.
I'm not putting up with this. No. It's just terrible. It's just terrible. The things that they try to push on us more and more and more. And then if you say no, when you do say enough, you're hate speech and shit. Well, even if it was hate,
who's the hater?
Is there a law against hate? What are we gonna legislate emotions now? What the fuck are we talking about?
Yeah,
holy crap! Did he fall back out again?
Yeah, he does that all the time.
Good God, Roger, you need to get something better than that track phone. You got an Obama phone or something, man? What's up? Fucking Obama. Yeah, man. Remember that? They don't give a shit if you're living on the street. They don't give a shit if you don't have heat. They don't give a shit if you don't have food. but they want to make sure
Use
that
the cell
your
phone.
television is fucking 4K and that you have a phone. Goddamn, you got to have one of those phones. They're going to make sure of that shit for real. You know? And they find that funny. Oh, and they care about your teeth, right? They need that too. So
You're right. They put the state puts phones in all the homeless hands. The Obama phones, they call them.
That's how they can track them. Duh.
Yes, exactly.
It's really obvious.
Crazy.
Yeah, you guys need to move out of here. You can't stay here. But here's a free phone, so you can call your relatives and get somewhere else to stay. Right? Okay.
Actually, you can't, because like Washington State, if a house is a single family dwelling, that's what they call them. My neighbors, they owned their own mobile home. They allowed their family who had lost their job to move in. Guess what? They got kicked off the property because it's everyone owns their own mobile homes, but we rent the land.
Mm-hmm.
And so they were kicked out. They had to sell their mobile home or move it. They didn't have a place to move it to, so they had to move out and sell it. Well, it didn't sell in the allotted time, so guess what? The landowner got to sell it and keep it, and then they sold it to somebody else. So it's just a big effing game.
And the government made money every time they got sold too.
Yep. Every time.
So they got the full value of it. Basically, they got the money for the whole price of the house by charging you tax every time it goes down the line. That's how they do it.
Right.
That way they get their cut. This is the way they really fund the government, by stealing your money and then investing.
It's because people don't know how to read. It's because the average person does not know how to read a contract. And so
they don't read them. What do you mean they don't read them?
What?
They don't read them. I see people all the time in situations where they're going to sign something. They just sign it. They don't read it. They don't look at it at all. They just, where's the sign? Where do I sign? Sign.
Yeah.
People don't read it anymore.
So, but right in a lot of contracts, it tells them, and so you're like me, I don't often get talk to the landowner or their management or anything, but they were trying to force me into contracting with a third party. I said, you can't force me to contract with someone else. That's involuntary servitude. I don't get letters from the landowner. I get letters from his lawyer.
Right. Exactly. That's the way this stuff works in real life. Yeah.
But I read the contracts. It's very important to read those contracts because, you can have something one day and it's gone the next because, you're just not paying.
You didn't read it. Yeah. Exactly. Just like when you go to the DMV, just remember that. Make sure you read it.
But I remember after my divorce, I hadn't really, I didn't work. I didn't have to, my ex and I worked things out where, I stayed home with our children. Why should one of us work just to pay daycare, right? While the other one, paid the bills. It was stupid. Right. So I stayed home. Plus I had my own business at home as well. But the thing is most people don't think like that. Most families don't think like that. They go, oh, you have to have two incomes. Well, after my divorce, no one would rent to me. It's not that I didn't have money. I had plenty of money. But the thing was I was a single mom with children. And I even had landlords tell me, oh, well, we want to put a family in our home. I said, well, what the fuck do you think we are? So, it wasn't homeless because of a choice I made or anything like that. It's who I was dealing with around me and the way they thought, right? But I didn't stay in town. I took my kids out to the river and we went camping, Every family does that, right? Well, maybe not every, but a good portion.
I do it.
They go camping, for the fun. Well, I can go camping with my children, but eventually, I didn't give up. I still eventually got them a home. But the thing was it was not easy to do that. So people don't end up homeless just because they go, oh, I'm going to grow up and be homeless and be a bum and all that. That's just not. Everyone is just, one incident away. And it doesn't even matter if you have money or don't have money. You're one incident away. A lot of people whenever they had all that housing crash and whatnot, because of the way they did their marketing. They took the businesses away, people lost their jobs, and what goes next? Your home, your car, and all those things. Because
All
you
the
don't have the
luxuries
money,
of having that job. Yeah.
right? And then you may have some savings left, but you know, you don't have a roof over your head, right?
Guess what, guys? Chinese troops have been spotted fighting for Russia against Ukraine.
Oh wow.
Well, is it
Knew
Ukraine?
that was
However,
coming. I
my
know
God,
that they were talking about North Koreans too.
It takes men and women to participate, so let them participate. You know,
That's
they're
a
just
real
doing
thing.
their own selves in.
Well, when the shit hits the fan here, just point me downrange. I'll be all right. But I think I'm gonna start land this thing because I'm gonna go on to Ironworks' stream here. He's got one running right now. He's talking about the Urbano Monte map, and I wanted to get on here and just get people thinking about the amount of gaslighting and the number of cons you're under all simultaneously.
Right.
You'll start finding more and more and more of them as you start dissecting them and find out that this is just a Chinese nesting doll of con jobs, man. You know, and some of the ones, always be wary of preachers, be wary of fucking politicians. These people, they're salesmen. Okay, they're salesmen, and 9 out of 10 times they're a con man. Just like Will Duffy is a fucking con man. He took away his con license, so he can't be a broker anymore. So now he's got this. All right. So let's not forget this guy has already been in trouble and lost his broker license for being a fucking cheating son of a bitch. So we were right to be very skeptical of this so-called final experiment. And it's pissing them off too, because we're not biting. Nobody's biting.
Right.
And they're going, well, it's going to prove. No, it ain't going to prove fucking shit. It's going to prove that there's some kind of weird shit going on with the sun. And my speculation is because you're like that kid with the trick gum. Oh, go ahead, take a piece. It's really good. And you're like, why are you offering this? Why do you want me to take this gum so bad? There's some kind of fuckery about. I haven't exactly figured out what exactly it is, but there is some kind of fuckery about with this shit. Because it's all of a sudden really important that everybody, we got to go this year.
Always to say that.
It's going to change everything.
Yeah, it's going to change everything when the plane crashes in here.
Well, not even that.
More people die. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm wondering, and these people that just couldn't wait, that were seething to jump right on it, not more than a day after it's fucking offered. Nobody asking any questions about, wait a minute, what's in it for you, motherfucker? Right? Nobody asking that shit. So I think I'm going to go ahead and lay her down here. I want to thank everybody for coming up here tonight. Let me see who I got. Nope. All right. So then what we'll do is we'll just go ahead and we'll sign out of here. If you get a chance, everybody go over to Ironworks channel. He's doing a live. It's already underway. I'm going to put the link down here in the chat so that everybody can give it a shot if they so pleased to do. I'm going to check that out for a few, and then I want to go over and look at this thing with Wits. It had Brother Nathaniel on, and I'm wondering how he was able to do that, because YouTube certainly doesn't like that character, not for a fucking second. And it's probably because he calls into question, those that you're not allowed to call into question. So we'll see everybody on the next installment of Sovereign Soul Unchained Mind. I want to thank everybody for coming up tonight, everybody that showed up in the chat. And remember, the Lord loves the working man. Don't trust Whitey. See your doctor and get rid of him, because he'll probably fucking kill you. So good night, everybody.
Solve. Hold up 1 second. Will you make sure that your son Ryan gets that link that I posted over here in the private chat?
Sure. I'll grab that.
I just think it's a document he might, if he hasn't already read, that he would really enjoy.
Sure.
So, thank you.
I'll send it to him right as soon as I am. All right, guys.
Thanks
Thanks
you.
for coming.
Have a good night.
Good night.